Long ago, the world neared destruction, giving rise to the Magic Tower. Humanity awakened its powers, fighting off monsters from the tower's depths. Generations later, the hope remains. One day, justice will defeat evil. Finally, a hero emerged from the shadows. Armed with immense talent, sharp wisdom, and sheer luck, he did the impossible, reached the tower's highest level. Meet the mightiest warrior of humanity, a beacon of hope known as the light of mankind. He's the one destined to end all darkness. Nox has returned for the third time. This round, he's honed every skill and attribute to perfection, pushing himself beyond all limits. He is equipped with the world's strongest weapons and items. Guided by a system interface, he's ready to conquer the tower's last floor and end it all. Nox hasn't spotted the top-level monsters yet, and the system's got no intel. His team teases, maybe he's distracted by thoughts of a girl? He contemplates his next move after defeating the Demon King. His team finds his focus amusing, unaware only he can see the system interface. The squad stands in awe, taking in the crystal-filled hall's beauty. One member wonders aloud, could this really be the top level of the Magic Tower? The group finds the top level strangely empty. They wonder, where's the final boss? Unlike the lower floors, this place is bright, serene, and stunning. Nox observes that beauty can be deceiving. Angels look terrifying to repel evil, while devils appear charming to lure the unwary. The team stays alert. For the first time in 3 attempts, the legendary warrior reaches the tower's peak. Yet, what awaits at the top remains a mystery. The fate of humanity hangs on this victory. The young fighter beams at their leader, filled with confidence. With you here, we're guaranteed victory. Her faith in the legendary hero is unwavering. In a shocking twist, blood splattering everywhere. Confused, our hero stares in disbelief. What just happened? The mighty hero stands firm, but chaos erupts around him. His ally screams in pain as another strike lands. Who or what is behind this sudden attack? A sinister figure appears behind the hero, greeting him with a chilling, "Hello!" Nox's face fills with shock and fear. The true enemy has arrived. The champion reacts in shock. Who? A monster has approached undetected. How could even the vigilant hero fail to notice him coming? With a surge of power, the warrior's blade slashes through the darkness, colliding with the enemy. Energy crackles as the two forces meet. The dark figure chuckles, commenting on the weapon. It's a good sword, but a bit brittle. His words drip with mocking confidence. Nox is in utter disbelief. His sword is broken. The enemy effortlessly shattered the world's most powerful weapon with just one finger. He is gripped by shock as a dark figure materializes beside him, taunting his moment of distraction. The unseen threat now looms dangerously close. His face twists in pain and shock as he recognizes the figure before him. Could this be the Demon King, the ultimate enemy he's been preparing to face? Nox is stunned by the revelation. A monster with a human form. The enemy claims to embody humanity's darkest fears, born from their own shadows. Our hero unleashes his skill, the Eye of Truth, to assess his foe's strength. To his shock, the enemy's health bar hasn't budged, completely unaffected. The champion is baffled. He unleashed his full power, yet the enemy remains unharmed. The smug look on the foe's face only heightens the warrior's disbelief. Nox stares in horror at the symbol above this dark ruler, realizing it signifies unlimited magic. Could this foe truly be invincible? The system sounds an alarm, identifying an insurmountable threat. The Dark Overlord's power exceeds all limits, victory is impossible, and an evacuation plan is triggered. For the first time, the system interface issues a dire warning. No chance of victory. The light of mankind struggles to stay calm, desperately searching for a plan. The hero's face is filled with shock, unleashed by his foe. He realizes the extent of the dark entity's true power. The Demon King curiously notes that only the hero can perceive the mysterious guiding system. This insight explains how the warrior accessed unique weapons and powers. The Dark Overlord smirks, his eyes glowing with a sinister light. He doesn't fully understand the power he shattered, but he's satisfied. It's gone now. The warrior's face contorts with horror and fury as he realizes his system is shattered. His most trusted ally in battle is gone, leaving him vulnerable. The Dark Lord confidently declares his dominance, crushing the hero's unseen ally. Despite not fully understanding it, he remains unfazed. After all, he considers himself invincible. The hero feels the weight of impending death, powerless to resist. Though he has faced death before, this moment terrifies him more than any other. Defeating the dark entity seems impossible. Despite the looming threat, Nox refuses to surrender. Even if he falls this time, he vows to return stronger, believing there's still hope for humanity. Surprised, the warrior finds himself enveloped in a green healing aura. Confused, he wonders why he's being healed in the midst of such a dire battle. The hero feels warmth spreading through his body. Realizing this is an advanced healing technique, the energy flows endlessly, revitalizing him completely. Bathed in a healing light, the champion looks at his foe in bewilderment, questioning the reason for this unexpected mercy. Why would the Dark Overlord restore him? The hero's face contorts in shock as he confronts his adversary, asking a question that could change everything. Is his foe also a returner? Someone who defies death? The dark entity smirks, deducing the hero's familiarity with the tower's monsters and skills. He probes further, suspecting the hero has returned multiple times. 2, maybe even 3. Demon King contemplates the hero's cycle, recognizing an endless loop. If he kills the champion now, time will reset, repeating until one day, the hero might succeed. The Dark Lord observes the hero's shocked expression, amused by his own deduction. With a sinister grin, he decides to keep the hero alive, refusing to let him escape through death. Demon acknowledges the formidable strength of the hero's armor, calling it the strongest in existence. Yet, with a smug confidence, he claims only he can shatter it. The hero, trapped in agony, questions his fate as the dark entity reveals a cruel plan. His armor will become a prison, and endless healing will prevent any escape. The Dark Lord condemns the hero to a fate worse than death, eternal imprisonment, immortal and undead. Surrounded by dark energy, the hero's struggle seems futile. The Dark Throne looms in the distance as fallen allies lie motionless on the ground. A mysterious energy flows from them toward the figure on the throne, as if draining their life force. Demon King proclaiming that the final victor will be the true protagonist? His words echo with an unsettling conviction. With a menacing grin and glowing eyes, the Dark Lord proclaims his superiority, stating, "I am the strongest." News reports announce the tragic fate of the hero Nox and his team. They have all perished. Their place of sacrifice was the peak of the Magic Tower, just one step from victory. In the wake of tragedy, humanity remains resolute, believing that good will eventually conquer evil. The Association of Human Warriors offers condolences, urging people to continue fighting and prevent monsters from invading the human world. In a bustling city, Skylar and his friend approach what seems like a secret high-level dungeon. Could this be the start of something epic? The Magic Tower entrance looms ahead, connecting the dungeon to the heart of the city. This isn't your average sightseeing spot. Chaos erupts as a torrent of monsters spills from the dungeon into the city. Every creature that emerges brings destruction closer to the heart. Only top-tier heroes dare to enter the S-Class dungeon. Skylar and his allies step in, determined to secure the city's future from within. Skylar wonders if the rare Cone of Blood will actually drop here. Can basic gear even handle the Demon King lurking within? The Cone of Blood demands precision. Every hit must draw blood. Nox reminds Mia that simply hoping for good won't be enough to win here. She praises Skylar, calling him the pride of their group and noting his potential to surpass the hero with a bit more experience. With stars in her eyes, the admirer gushes over Skylar, declaring her admiration and unwavering support. Staring at the fallen beast, she can't believe there is actually a teenager. With a sinister grin and glowing eyes, the figure muses about clever humans, daring to use rule-based props against the Demon King. Relaxed yet menacing, the figure holds the Cone of Blood crystal, hinting that he's always one step ahead of those who dare challenge him. With a confident smirk, Skylar extends his hand, acknowledging the effort and commanding, "Bring it to me." He's not one to wait around. The figure taunts with a sly grin, holding the crystal tight. "You don't even know who I am, but you dare to steal my things?" With a fierce determination, he insists that the powerful artifact would serve a greater purpose in his hands, dedicated to defeating the Demon King. A blinding barrier surrounds him, blocking a fierce attack with his absolute defense. His skill shines, creating a safe zone amidst the chaos. Sensing a massive surge of magic, he's rattled. The sheer intensity raises doubts. Could his foe be more than just human? The mysterious figure towers over Mia, acknowledging Skylar as a potential successor to a great warrior, hinting that breaking the crystal cube could secure their escape. Holding his hostage, he reinforces his twisted deal, promising safety if the thing is destroyed. The glimmering cube is his only hope. Skylar firmly tells his companion that her sacrifice for the world's sake won't be forgotten. He promises to commemorate her bravery in a memorial. Charging ahead in a flash, he unleashes his power against the enemy, undeterred by the threat to the girl. His resolve drowns out all doubt. The enemy smirks, observing Mia's fearless resolve. He realizes his grasp on human nature is far from complete, as their spirit continues to surprise him. Skylar acknowledges the lonely path of a hero and the inevitable sacrifices along the way. He identifies the Demon King as the true enemy. He gazes at his captive with disdain, savoring her helplessness. He seems indifferent to her suffering and her role as a mere victim of circumstance. Stunned, she feels Skylar's icy resolve, a harsh shift after her unwavering loyalty. Desperate, she urges him to leave her and use the cube to escape, a last plea to help him survive. The hero, radiating unwavering resolve, refuses to flee, declaring his duty as the new star of mankind. With sword in hand, he believes good will triumph over evil. He passionately declares his resolve to fight for humanity's future, igniting surprise and admiration in Mia's eyes. His determination leaves her speechless. The new star of humanity passionately declares his resolve to fight for humanity's future, igniting surprise and admiration in her eyes. His determination leaves her speechless. The Demon King smirks, noting that since Skylar won't run away, he won't hold back either, as he prepares a lethal strike. The latter, overwhelmed by shock, questions his sudden defeat as he begins to fall. Is this really how it ends? His thoughts spiral in disbelief. The Demon King sneers at him, mocking his heroic hunger and suggesting a sip of lava. He ridicules the idea of a righteous, heroic death. Suspended in darkness, there are pleads for his life, unwilling to face an untimely end. His desperation echoes as he resists the notion of sacrifice. Mia, overwhelmed by grief, realizes that Skylar is gone. The crushing thought of her own fate dawns on her, bringing a tear to her eye. Left in stunned silence, she wonders why the enemy spared her, feeling lost and unsure. Left in stunned silence, she wonders why the enemy spared her, feeling lost and unsure. Recalling his twisted promise, he tells her that if the cube is destroyed, freedom awaits, an unsettling vow, emphasizing his commitment to keeping his word. The Demon King coldly declares that Skylar could never leave, warning Mia that their next encounter will be her last. His gaze burns with lethal intent. She sits in disbelief, clutching her chest as she realizes the Demon King actually let her go. Confusion and relief mix as she contemplates her survival. The Demon King strides confidently down the illuminated staircase, disappearing into a swirling portal. His departure leaves an eerie silence in his wake. Emerging from the portal, a mysterious figure steps into the modern cityscape, shrouded in shadows. Under the glow of a full moon, the towering Human Awakened Association headquarters looms, symbolizing strength and vigilance in a world of hidden threats. A receptionist with a warm The Seven Elders Hall, a central chamber within the Human Awakened Association headquarters. Out of the seven elders, only six are still standing. Nox, the elder with the power to rewind time, fell short when facing the Magic Tower. A leader declares that, with the Demon King in the Magic Tower, humanity must abandon their feudal fights. He bans all attempts to challenge the tower's power. The leader unveils his plan. To end the monster invasion, he summoned a traveler from another dimension, specifically a chosen one from Earth. The mysterious woman admits that the traveler's mission to save their world is kept secret from everyone. Even he is unaware of his own purpose. The woman explains that the traveler's soul now resides in Nox's younger brother, Finn. He has led a team to find artifacts to seal the Magic Tower. An elder recounts how, on the night of last month's full moon, he performed a divination for Finn, hoping to foresee his fate. The elder reveals that the hexagram indicates Finn will soon find the artifacts needed to seal the Magic Tower, a crucial step in their mission. A look of satisfaction crosses the elder's face as he envisions the Magic Tower finally being sealed, bringing hope for an end to their struggles. A hopeful assistant asks the senior prophet if Finn can truly find the artifacts to seal the Magic Tower, her eyes filled with anticipation. The assistant beams with excitement, exclaiming that if the plan succeeds, humans will finally be safe from harm. The elder warns that sealing the Magic Tower would be pointless if the Demon King escapes to the city. The assistant, anxious, asks what they should do next. With a casual tone, the seasoned guide tells his assistant to chill, catching her off guard. She reacts in surprise, letting out a startled, "Kya!" Laughing loudly, he reassures his assistant with, "Just kidding, how could that villain leave the Magic Tower?" She sighs, still exasperated by his humor. The old man lays it out. Without the tower's magic boost, even the Dark Ruler would just be another powerful human target. Tough break for a big boss. The old man's intense. He believes that if Nox seals the Magic Tower, humanity wins. And his hexagram? It shows the hero is the chosen one for this epic task. The young assistant feels awkward as her senior excitedly shouts down the hallway about finding the props to seal the Magic Tower tonight. The old man seems to be plotting again, hinting that it's time for Nox to make a comeback. The old man, startled, confronts a stranger in his room under the moonlight. Who could this mysterious figure be, and what does he want? The stranger looks up, seemingly confused as he mutters a question. Skylar introduces himself with a relaxed smile, claiming to be a new awakener in the association. The elder looks surprised, realizing the guy is the hidden genius he's heard about. Is his reputation preceding him already? Skylar humbly downplays his genius, offering to help defeat the Demon King. The elder, amused, insists on relaxing and skip the formalities. The young awakened approaches the elder, seeking a prediction about the future. But the wise man looks worn out, clearly not in a hurry to help. With a sly smile, the young man hints at his interest in the Demon King's future. 119. The elder explains that his prophecy isn't easy to fulfill. He must touch the subject under a full moon to glimpse their fate. Skylar, with a glint of intrigue in his eye, reminds the elder that tonight is the full moon, just the right moment for a prophetic touch. The elder points out that it's not about the full moon, but about direct contact with the target. His frustration is visible as he clarifies. The elder realizes with horror that this isn't Skylar. Panic sets in as he questions the demon's true identity, feeling trapped and vulnerable. With a look of utter terror, the wise man realizes the horrifying truth. This is none other than the Demon King himself. The ominous prophecy unfolds. The Dark Lord is destined to be slain by a human when the first snowflakes of the season begin to fall. With a piercing gaze, he activates his mind-reading power, eyes glowing ominously as he peers deep into the thoughts of his target. The demon posing as Skylar demands, "Great prophet, are your predictions accurate?" The terrified prophet can only gasp, "No! Not! No!" With a chilling grin, the demon taunts, demanding a prediction on whether the prophet will face death by his hands tonight. The prophet's face twists in sheer horror, his wide eyes reflecting the sinister truth revealed by the demon. Fear seizes him. A story about a modern world guy transmigrating to a parallel world? From being a trash to fighting monsters and leveling up, acting cool and mocking arrogant characters? In the end, on a tempestuous day, that trash defeats the Demon King. I'm that trash from Earth, living at the lowest and poorest level of the planet. One day, while I was reading that novel, the protagonist meets an untimely fate on his way to work, caught in an accident that ends his life, a scene straight out of every transmigration story's prologue. He finds himself reborn within the world of the book, now living as Knox, the second son of the Kerrigan family and humanity's beacon of hope. That's not the famous hero, it's Fung, his overlooked younger brother. He confidently declares that he knows the map's location of the sealing item. With his knowledge of the story, he's one step ahead, ready to retrieve it. As such, Knox soon obtained the map that recorded the item capable of sealing the demonic tower. Although his brother, the legendary warrior, is dead, Fung declares that the true protagonist has yet to appear. Now, with his team, he's ready to save the world. With Lena by his side, the young contender is sure they'll definitely secure the sealing item. Lena, unfazed, gives a subtle humph, adding to the air of confidence. Only dreamed of, is now his fiancée in this life. The thought clearly amuses him as he grins confidently. Fung recalls meeting this timid girl along the way. She's like a scared rabbit, always on edge, constantly relying on him to save her. He reassures Mia that she's safe in the headquarters. She thanks him with a smile, feeling secure by his side. The younger warrior feels content spending time with a romance-obsessed beauty like his companion. He smirks, thinking how transmigrators truly have a cheat life. The younger brother, with a wave of his cape, decides to leave, delegating the leftover matter to his team. Mia, puzzled, calls out, wondering where he's off to. As he heads to find and meet the great prophet, his ambition shines. If he becomes the hero who seals the demonic tower, he believes everything he desires will be within reach. Lena confidently approaches the desk, stating their purpose clearly. It's time for her and the team to transact service and get things moving. The help desk assistant asks Lena about the service she needs. The girl replies confidently, ready to recommend someone for association membership. She introduces her friend as her recommendation, emphasizing Mia's survival encounter with the Dark Lord. The receptionist looks shocked by the revelation. She recalls her close encounter with the Demon King in the dungeon, where she lost her senior but later joined Fung and Lena's team as the sole survivor. The receptionist reveals that Skylar recently joined the association and is alive and well, leaving Mia shocked and full of questions. The ominous figure looms over the terrified prophet, who begs for mercy, sensing his fate. "Have you divined your ending tonight?" hangs like a curse. Desperate and terrified, the prophet begs the Dark King for mercy, promising loyalty and usefulness, clinging to any hope of survival. Dark Entity stares down at the cowering prophet, unimpressed by his pleas, finding his desperation unworthy and utterly boring. The Demon King reflects on his misconception of humanity, realizing not all are like the brave Knox. His interest wanes, deciding to send away his defeated foe. Dark Overlord looms menacingly, his dark energy engulfing the scene. His opponent, struck with fear, utters a desperate, "What? No!" as danger closes in. The Dark Lord wrestles with a perilous choice, caught between destiny and prediction. Returning risks confinement, while interfering means facing a formidable hero. Which path will he take? Contemplating his next move, Demon King decides it's too risky to abandon the tower now. Perhaps in time, he'll find a way to escape the prophecy's grip. A sly grin spreads on the Dark Lord's face as he recalls a hidden exit. A back door might just be his ticket to slip away unnoticed. With a suspicious gaze, the ambitious awakener questions the stranger. "Who are you? Why have I never seen you before? The newcomer stands in silence, adding to the intrigue. With a confident smile, he introduces himself, saying, "Ah, I'm an awakener who recently joined the association. Do you need something?" Feng notices the badge, signaling the wearer's high rank. Only an S-rank awakener could possess it. His gaze is skeptical. Could this person truly be that powerful? The senior awakener enthusiastically invites the new recruit to join his team, aiming to retrieve the sealing item to secure the demonic tower. Filled with ambition, the young hero introduces himself, claiming he'll soon be known worldwide. Recognizing the newcomer's potential, he suggests joining his team. With a confident smirk, the newcomer agrees to join, eager to test if the great prophet's prediction will truly come to pass, hinting at a deeper plan. The confident leader strides ahead, boasting of his future fame, while the newcomer follows quietly behind, observing his every word. The hero reflects on his recent mission, recalling how he saved a remarkable beauty, the sole survivor of a deadly encounter with the Demon King. With intrigue, he processes the revelation. Someone survived an encounter with this dark ruler and lived to tell the tale. Feng boasts that Mia has already joined his team, smiling confidently as he promises that she will appear soon, making the viewer wonder what her role will be. With a curious smirk, he looks at the newcomer, questioning where he's heading off to. His casual tone hides an intent to keep the rookie under watch. The senior awakener looks stunned as the newcomer suddenly remembers a pressing matter, helping a pig back home with postnatal care. Confusion fills the air as he tries to process this strange excuse. Mia shouts out, "Captain Feng!" as she catches sight of her captain and the newcomer. With a confident gesture, the charismatic hero leads the way, remarking about the beauties that surround him daily. He claims it's tiring but unavoidable, his charm seemingly drawing them in. Mia stands behind as the newcomer's hand begins to glow with an ominous aura. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he internally curses, acknowledging this is the worst-case scenario imaginable. A shadowed smile appears on his face as he greets her with a calm, almost ominous, "Hello." His tone hints at hidden intentions. She rushes forward, relieved to see Skylar as she called him, safe after his escape from the Demon King's grasp. Her embrace reflects her worry, while his calm demeanor contrasts her intense relief. Feng's shock is evident as he questions if this person is really the one he calls himself. In the original story, he recalls, this hero had already met his end. Doubt fills his gaze. Mia gazes up at the guy, her face flushed with relief and joy. She admits she's been worried about him since they parted, eager to see him again. The demon studies her with suspicion. He wonders if she can sense his true identity as the Demon King rather than Skylar. Mia, her eyes shining with admiration, expresses deep gratitude for the hero's previous rescue. Determined to repay his kindness, she pledges unwavering loyalty to him. Skylar looks intrigued, noting how unusual it is for a human to admire the Demon King and seek refuge with demons. He acknowledges her wisdom, promising fair treatment. Feng's frustration peaks as he realizes someone else has taken on the role he considered his own within the team, cutting him off mid-sentence in disbelief. Lena approaches with a confident smile, recognizing Skylar as the rumored genius awakener. She introduces herself warmly, intrigued to finally meet him in person. Feng starts to call Lena his fiancée, but she quickly shifts the topic, asking his company about their previous encounter with the Demon King and his appearance. Mia, startled, describes the Dark Lord as ferocious and terrifying. Skylar, on the other hand, casually sums it up, saying he just looks like a bad person. They share a light-hearted moment, laughing and enjoying each other's company. It seems like, at least for now, the tension has eased. Feng reflects on the original storyline, remembering that Skylar was supposed to die early. He wonders if his actions have triggered a butterfly effect. Now, he plans to consult the Great Prophet for answers about this guy. A woman exclaims about the Great Prophet, who seems to be in distress. Feng demands to know what happened. A shocked woman exclaims that the Great Prophet has been killed, pointing out that he was alive just half an hour ago. She demands an investigation into who he met in the meantime. Tension builds as the realization dawns on the character that only Captain Feng and she met with the Great Prophet before his sudden death. Emotions flare as he vehemently denies any involvement, claiming he never met the prophet and instead saw the other person acting suspiciously near the door. Tearing into a shout, he accuses the other one of murdering the Great Prophet, convinced he knew it from the start. His fury is unrestrained, fist clenched in accusation. Lena tries to stop Feng, urging him to calm down, but her words seem futile. She worries he's acting too hastily, driven by anger. The falls onto the main character as he yells at her to get out of the way, calling her an idiot. Tensions have reached a peak, and the situation is heating up. He shouts, accusing the hero of deceiving everyone, claiming that the person before them is not the real Skylar. His face contorts with anger, revealing his suspicions. Charging forward, The determined fighter accuses the hero of trying to deceive everyone, but assures them that such a trick won't work on him. The commander delivers a powerful strike aimed at the hero, shouting the threat, "Die!" The demon glares at the young contender with contempt, calling him trash who can't even compare to Nox. He screams in terror, unable to contain his fear as the demon looms over him with terrifying power. His face contorts in panic, clearly outmatched by the man who now calls himself Skylar. Falling to his knees, shocked and humiliated, he grits his teeth in helpless rage. The demon stands before him, asserting its dominance, making him realize his own powerlessness. Mia and Lena watch in horror as Skylar displays his power in the fight. Lena frantically urges them to stop, realizing things are spiraling, while Mia is shocked by the strength of the one she chose to follow. He looks down at his defeated foe with a cold expression, almost conveying disdain for the opponent's helplessness. His calm, restrained power emphasizes the futility of the fight. The demon ponders in surprise why this brat is so certain of his true identity. His purple glowing eyes hint at the inhuman nature he's attempting to conceal. Skylar gazes down at Feng, defeated on the ground, recalling that he's the younger brother of Nox, also called the Hope of Humanity. Mockingly, he calls him worthless and untalented trash, noting he liked the older brother more. The exhausted fighter tries to lift his head, his face twisted in pain and despair. Gritting his teeth, the young contender responds indignantly to Skylar's words, trying to hold back his emotions. He reflects on how he finally went through transmigration, gained incredible buffs, and rose above others, yet now all of it is in jeopardy. Lena pleads for mercy, explaining that her companion has always been an honest person, but has recently become a bit impulsive. Ignited with rage, the young warrior activates his S-class weapon, the soul-racking claw. His voice rings sharply as he fiercely lunges at Skylar, shouting that he shouldn't be called trash. The demon gazes at his opponent with disdain, astonished that someone like him wields an S-class weapon. He recalls that this name isn't on the list of human geniuses. A commanding voice orders a halt, demanding an end to the fight. The voice fills the space, emphasizing its power and authority. Feng is startled as he realizes his magic has suddenly vanished, his expression filled with shock and confusion at the abrupt loss of power. The president of the Awakener Association activates his power, forming a domain where all supernatural abilities vanish, surprising everyone around him. With a stern expression, the president emphasizes that every member of the association is crucial in fighting demons, and internal strife is unacceptable. Realizing he's facing the association's president, the hero decides to be more cautious, knowing that outside the tower, he lacks infinite mana and other buffs. The hero apologizes to the association's president, promising it won't happen again. Feng angrily yells at the association's president, accusing him of bias. He doesn't understand why he only intervened now, not when the punch landed. Skylar questions if this person truly possesses the intellect and character worthy of obtaining an S-class weapon and a divine item map. The Elder insists that all his actions are for humanity's future, but Feng angrily questions if he's expected to believe such claims. Nox's Tonga brother, feeling underestimated, declares he'll obtain the sealing item and save the world, proving his true worth to everyone around him. The leader approaches Skylar, admiring his strength and calm demeanor, noting his respectful attitude as well as his impressive abilities. Laughing to himself, he finds the admiration from humans absurd, wondering why they are so drawn to him despite his hidden motives. The investigator reports finding traces of demonic power at the crime scene, speculating that a demon from the dungeon killed the Great Prophet, not a human. The leader declares the search for the divine item urgent, instructing Skylar to accompany Feng and carry humanity's future on his shoulders. Demon's smirk reveals his ironic thoughts. He does carry humanity's future, but not in the way they expect, as his intentions remain ambiguous. The Elder motivates, urging to work hard as humanity's future will soon depend on the younger generation. Skylar listens with subtle irony. Lena decides to check on Feng, noting that his recent irritability has raised some concerns. Skylar stops her, his voice firm yet calm as if sensing her urgency. Demon carefully inquires about Feng's recent changes, wondering if his personality shifted. He internally worries if Lena will grow suspicious of his sudden interest. Feigning concern, he apologizes for his impulsive actions, masking his true intentions. Internally, the guy resolves to be more cautious. Lena's thoughts soften as she sees Skylar's concern for Feng, interpreting his actions as kindness, unaware of his hidden motives. She reflects on his sudden change, recalling his talk of transmigration and strange worlds, as if he'd become a different person overnight. The ambitious contender marvels at the S-class weapon before him, feeling as if he's become the son of providence of this world, barely reaching the S-class threshold. Skylar listens to the explanation about the fighter's possible enlightenment, pondering if he might have awakened a unique skill that he's hiding. He contemplates Feng's hesitation, wondering why someone as impulsive as him would keep quiet about knowing his true identity. Demon suspects that the young man might not be the original, pondering if his sudden personality shift hints at possession or some otherworldly change. Lena's alarmed gaze shifts as she hears an unexpected sound nearby, her expression revealing worry. An A-class demon escaped from the dungeon and entered the city. The young warrior confronts the demon with disdain, calling it a puny A-class. With a fierce shout, he unleashes a powerful, explosive attack. With the S-class meteor star sword raised high, he declares himself the hero destined to protect everyone, demanding all attention on him. The crowd roars, convinced that Feng can defeat even an A-class demon. They chant, urging him to prove his newfound power. Watching in admiration, the crowd is captivated, with one girl exclaiming how incredible the warrior truly is, mesmerized by his strength. Skylar recalls that the corpse canine, a rare demon formed from lingering resentment, was once a stray animal killed by humans in the city. Demon King's fierce attack unleashes a torrent of energy, surrounding the monstrous corpse canine in a deadly web of light, each line charged with lethal force. The corpse canine appears lifeless, deceiving onlookers with its fake demise. Skylar realizes the terrifying truth. The demon is rejuvenating, ascending to a new level of power. It's now an S-class threat. Feng stands with a smug smile, believing he has defeated the monster. Unbeknownst to him, the massive beast is lurking behind, ready to strike. Crowds cheer wildly, fists raised high, chanting his name. He's become a true hero in their eyes, winning admiration with every step. Skylar stands calmly as the crowd chants Feng's name. Beside him, Lena smiles with pride. Feng's ego shines as he reflects on taming an A-class demon. He's confident sealing the demonic tower will make him a global legend. The creature's transformation intensifies, evolving into a terrifying SS-class demonic hell canine. Its new form radiates raw, chaotic power. The hero stares in shock, disbelief etched on his face. How could things take such an unexpected turn? A monstrous canine unleashes a terrifying blast of fire, its glowing eyes radiating fury. This beast isn't backing down without a fight. Overwhelmed by the fiery assault, the proud hero recoils, his scream echoing as flames engulf him. The beast's power is more than he anticipated. Defeated, the hero lies motionless, surrounded by an astonished crowd. Silence hangs heavy as they witness the fall of their once powerful champion. Panic spreads as the crowd realizes the gravity of the situation. Faces twisted in fear, they yell, "Run for your life!" Chaos erupts everywhere. Feng is shocked, thrown back by a single strike. His mind races as he realizes the truth. He's facing the legendary SS-class beast. Lena rushes to his side, her face filled with worry. She helps him up, urging him to lean on her as they try to escape from the chaos. Just as the monstrous demon charges with its jaws wide open, Skylar makes a powerful leap, leaving Lena and her companion behind to face the beast head-on. Demon realizes he can't let the young hero die just yet. He still needs him to locate the divine item and destroy it. Dark power gathers in his hand. Leaning heavily on his companion, the struggling fighter clings to her for support, clearly struggling. She helps him move forward, steadying him amid the chaos around. The Demon King mockingly asks the monster if it recognizes its true master. The massive monster, trembling with fear, cowers before the imposing figure of the Dark Ruler. The fearsome beast lets out a whimpering "Ow!" as it retreats, towering over the onlookers who watch in awe and confusion at its sudden meekness. Confused onlookers question the demon's sudden retreat, wondering if Skylar's mere gaze scared it off. Meanwhile, some celebrate its cowardice. The crowd's doubts grow as they wonder if Feng is losing his edge or if the demon's power is just skyrocketing. The crowd believes Skylar's strength scared off the demon, while Lena helps a shaken warrior walk, barely able to support his own weight. Full of thanks, curiosity in her eyes as she wonders aloud how he managed to scare off the demon so effortlessly. A mystery indeed. He brushes it off, thinking if the rising fighter is grateful like Mia, at least he'll stay off his back. The rising star grabs Skylar, furious, accusing him of letting him face the empowered demon alone just to see him fail. Fueled by frustration, the young warrior lashes out, accusing of hogging all the glory and basking in the admiration of the crowd. Consumed by rage, our hero blames Skylar, repeatedly shouting that everything is his fault, his grip tight and gaze intense. Feng's anger flares as he accuses the demon of prioritizing his image over saving him, calling him a scumbag in front of everyone watching. With a cold expression and glowing eyes, Skylar stares down at the furious warrior, implying that in his world, not everyone deserves saving. The demon's gaze sharpens as he assesses the defeated fighter's failed attempt to play the hero. To him, the struggling hero only seeks excuses for his own lack of skill. The crowd discusses the recent events. With the prophet gone, suspicion falls on the only two warriors left standing. Mia's casting doubts on the young contender's sudden power boost, wondering if he tapped into some forbidden, immoral technique for his strength. The young hero seethes with frustration, watching as the crowd falls for his opponent's facade. Public opinion starts shifting, and he feels isolated in his disbelief. With a calm smile, the ambitious fighter suggests it was all a misunderstanding, his demeanor almost too serene. He's attempting to de-escalate, but his motives remain unclear. Fury burns in his eyes as he realizes Skylar's manipulative play. Even after gaining the upper hand, the latter has the audacity to act innocent. Feng, attempting to regain his composure, clasps his hand with a forced smile, expressing thanks for his timely rescue, masking his inner frustrations. Lena intervenes as her fiancé again loses his composure, openly confronting Skylar. She reminds him that everyone's watching, questioning why he's suddenly attacking. He pulls his hand away from Lena, muttering that he's aware everyone's watching his every move. She looks on, concerned by his reaction. Feng, glancing at the figure before him, tries to piece together the mystery. Who is this stranger, and what could his real intentions be? He seems determined, convincing himself that the original plot of the novel must stay on course, refusing to believe it could stray. His thoughts turn dark as he contemplates removing his foe as a threat if necessary. Without the sealing item, humanity's end is inevitable. The tension between Demon King and the young hero ignites as their powers clash, each fueled by a fierce resolve. Their rivalry blazes with deadly intensity. The group gathers in a cozy cafe. Lena, with a grateful smile, thanks Sir Skylar for his timely rescue the previous day. The air is warm with appreciation. The reserved warrior nods in quiet gratitude, holding a steaming cup as if savoring this brief moment of peace after the recent turmoil. The reserved warrior nods in quiet gratitude, holding a steaming cup as if savoring this brief moment of peace after the recent turmoil. Lena contemplates the journey ahead, hoping others will overlook Feng's quirks. She knows him well, trusting in his true good nature. Skylar muses over the unsettling truth, stirring his drink thoughtfully. He reflects that the person they once knew is no longer himself, a distant shadow. Demon suppresses his disgust as he comments on the strange human tastes, hinting to Lena that her fiancé, Feng, might have changed due to illness. Skylar hints that a rare item from the south could help the young warrior return to his old self. He's determined to secure the sealing item for their mission. Lena's eyes light up with hope as she wonders if the young hero can truly restore her companion to his original self. The possibility fills her with anticipation. Skylar's confident smirk hides a hint of ambiguity as his reflection in the glass mirrors his expression, leaving his true intentions uncertain. The protagonist, with a dark expression, realizes that the current storyline is merely a prequel, and that the true story has yet to unfold. Feng recalls that Skylar didn't return alive in the prequel, and the Great Prophet died before the story began, but that person looked suspicious. He wonders if his arrival disrupted the original story, where this hero was supposed to leave quietly without making waves in this world. Young hero reflects on how his arrival forced Skylar, who should have been quietly excited, to join the crucial mission to locate the sealing item. Will it alter the story's end? Feng clutches his head, realizing the storyline is slipping out of control. He hadn't anticipated that his presence would cause so much trouble. The rising star, convinced of his omniscient viewpoint, feels unstoppable. He sees himself as the chosen one, destined to control and reshape this world. The team gathers before the representative with serious expressions, waiting for his words. In the spotlight stands Feng, whose name was loudly called. The grand hall fills with the echo of footsteps, breaking the silence. The group senses the tension. Under a menacing sky, a dark figure cloaked in molten light emits a low, pained groan, like a shadow come to life from the darkest nightmares. Against the heated landscape, fiery figures slowly encircle the battlefield, creating a tense atmosphere of impending danger. Surrounded by ominous fiery beings, the hero raises his sword ready to clash on the scorching ground. With a gentle and confident smile, Skylar wields power, enveloped in a mesmerizing purple glow, highlighting his poise and strength. Feng strikes with determination, emitting a blinding light that pierces the darkness and scatters the enemies around him. The team attacks in unison from all sides, each directing their power against the advancing enemies, lighting up the battlefield with energy bursts. Feng struggles under the relentless assault of countless enemies. Although weak individually, their endless attacks create unbearable pressure. The warrior channels his full power, directing a surge of green energy through his sword. His resolve is evident in every movement. A powerful green energy beam explodes outward, sending nearby enemies flying in all directions. Someone's unleashing their true strength. One of the allies channels a powerful surge of green energy through his sword, causing the ground to crack beneath him. The others stand ready to back him up. The warrior sighs in relief, watching the attacking creatures finally retreat. Skylar sizes up the young warrior, admitting he's not half bad. Looks like the team now has someone who can hold their own in the fight. Mia is genuinely impressed by Nolan's actions, calling them incredible. Her admiration shines in her eyes as she's completely captivated by his skill. Nolan acknowledges his weakness in duels, but notes he's better at handling hordes. A touch of humility suits him. Feng warns the team that the path to the artifact will be tough, rugged terrain, unknown beasts, and mounting risks. But he has no intention of turning back. He advises the team to head back to town for a break, given they've been traveling non-stop for days. He volunteers to scout ahead. The team is worried about his decision to go alone. They warn him of mortal danger and plead with him to reconsider his risky choice. Turning over public opinion about himself in his mind, the rising star is called a force capable of shaking the world, forged in demon lairs and poison-filled caves. Reflecting, he acknowledges that this warrior's loyalty has made him a crucial part of his journey to success, helping him overcome every obstacle along the way. He recalls the novel's plot, where the protagonist used a rare cleansing elixir to rid Nolan of toxins. This act made Nolan a loyal ally. The rising star ponders that, since the story hasn't begun, he can seize the protagonist's fate, become the main figure, and claim the artifact. He instructs the others to wait for him in town, promising to continue their journey once the current task is completed. Feng, with a sly smile, reflects that only a few know where to find the essential ingredients, but luckily, he's one of them thanks to the book's hints. Soon, Nolan will be his ally. The demon contemplates the young hero's nature, sensing that self-sacrifice isn't in his character, despite understanding little about human nature. Lena reflects on Skylar's words, a sense of resolve forming in her eyes as she considers the implications if everything he said proves true. Lena walks with determination, realizing that her companion's soul is being corrupted by a demon, altering his personality. She decides to find a soul-cleansing item at the auction. Determined, she vows to restore his true self, pushing away any doubts as she recalls the past versions he used to be. A fierce resolve fills her eyes. The group decides to heed the young master's advice, recognizing that 3 members have already taken their own path. They'll return to town for some much-needed rest. Noticing hesitation in Skylar, the soldier's eyes flash with anger. Has he dared to question the young master's orders? His face reveals his irritation. The warrior reflects that the young master doesn't seem to trust this stranger. His doubts grow, as this person appears shady and suspicious. Skylar's concern is evident, but he's got a plan. What if we secretly follow Feng, he suggests to Dane. If their companion faces danger, they'll be there to help. Dane's face lights up with excitement as he eagerly agrees to the plan. His loyalty to the young master is unwavering, and he's ready to take action without hesitation. Observing the scene, Lena realizes just how much Skylar cares for his teammate. Beneath his tough exterior, she sees a kind-hearted spirit who's always thinking of others. With a playful smirk, he downplays the praise he's received, claiming all his actions are solely for humanity. His eyes glow with a mysterious light as he silently challenges the young warrior. His curiosity is intense. He's ready to uncover his companion's true nature, no matter the cost. A colossal chess piece towers ominously in an S-rank dungeon known as the Deadly Chessboard. Its eerie presence hints at the dangers lying in wait for anyone who dares to enter. Feng recalls from a book that a cleansing crystal is hidden somewhere on this deadly chessboard. Despite his knowledge, its exact location remains a mystery. A sudden wave of fear grips him, catching him off guard. His normally composed expression breaks as he questions the origin of this intense dread. A massive stone figure with glowing red eyes looms over the determined fighter, advancing with unstoppable force. He realizes the danger. It's coming straight at him. Feng shouts in shock, realizing he's facing the spirit of chess. A red aura forms around the figure, radiating an overwhelming and ominous power. He unleashes a powerful strike, his face filled with determination. He's fully engaged in the battle, shouting as he throws everything he has into the fight. A massive spectral weapon crashes down toward him, forcing him to dodge swiftly. His focus sharpens as he realizes he's facing the pawn in this deadly game. The fierce contender launches a fierce strike, his sword slicing through the air with deadly precision. His battle cry fills the space, determined to end this confrontation. Countless souls have been absorbed by these chess pieces, trapped in eternal battle. Each figure holds the wrath of fallen hunters, their power surpassing even S-rank. His expression shifts as he realizes the danger. A glowing symbol appears in his hand, and he knows it's time to make a swift exit before things escalate further. He ascends with ethereal wings spread wide, surrounded by a radiant glow. His stance is powerful and majestic, as if he's transformed into a celestial warrior. Facing a towering spectral knight radiating intense purple energy, Feng appears small yet resolute. His glowing wings contrast with the knight's ominous aura, hinting at an epic clash. Lies on the ground, visibly weakened and gasping. His energy is drained, and the toll of the intense battle is clear. Has he reached his limit, or can he still fight? The rising star lies on the ground, visibly weakened and gasping. His energy is drained, and the toll of the intense battle is clear. Has he reached his limit, or can he still fight? Feng's inner resolve flares up as he refuses to give in. Despite his weakened state, he reminds himself of his purpose, to become a hero. He can't afford to fall here. An ominous hand with clawed fingers grips the figure's head, radiating powerful energy. The figure's eyes burn with fury, as if awakening an ancient wrath from within. Feng's eyes widen in shock as he struggles to process what he's seeing. The warrior's movements are so fast, he barely catches a glimpse, leaving him in awe and alarm. In a flash, all the chess pieces shatter around Feng, obliterated in a single instant. The sheer power unleashed leaves him stunned, witnessing destruction on an unimaginable scale. The young hero shields himself from the aftermath of the destruction, bewildered by the sheer force of the attack. Voices call out to him, concerned and urgent, breaking through the chaos. Feng is helped to his feet by his concerned allies, who followed him despite his intentions to go alone. Their loyalty shines through as they explain they couldn't leave him unprotected. Nolan expresses his frustration, questioning why Feng would venture into a dangerous S-rank dungeon alone. There's relief in his voice, thankful that Skylar urged them to follow. Feng reacts in surprise upon hearing this name, realization dawning on him. If it truly was Skylar, then this revelation could change everything about their current situation. He stands surrounded by ghostly apparitions, each spirit exuding an eerie glow. Confusion and surprise are evident on his face. He didn't expect to encounter these spectral figures. Demon King stares in awe at the spirits of fallen hunters surrounding him, each one a casualty of battles with the chess pieces. A glowing crystal in the foreground amplifies the eerie atmosphere. Skylar gazes solemnly at the glowing crystal in his hands, reflecting on the gratitude of the spirits he's freed. Despite knowing his true nature, they acknowledge his act of mercy. In his hand is a rare material, the cleansing crystal. In his hand, its brilliant blue glow signifying its potent and precious nature. This is no ordinary item. It holds immense power. Feng's face reflects dread as he realizes the gravity of the situation. This is the worst-case scenario. Skylar now possesses the cleansing crystal, shifting the balance of power. Demon King smirks as he examines the cleansing crystal, understanding its true value. He notes the young warrior's desire for it, easily reading the emotions etched on his face. Skylar confidently holds the cleansing crystal, taunting the young hero with a smug expression. He might not fully understand its power, but if his rival wanted it, it must be valuable. Dane enthusiastically reassures his ally, expressing relief that the newcomer is on their team. Meanwhile, the young hero's frustration grows as he reflects on the struggle for the crystal and the help he didn't want. Feng, visibly exhausted but determined, reassures his allies, insisting they shouldn't worry about him. Despite his words, his weakened stance tells a different story. The rising star pushes forward with fierce determination, while his allies call out in concern. Despite losing the crystal, he resolves to use a substitute remedy, knowing it will still be effective enough. Skylar's gaze sharpens with intrigue as he observes the young contender's actions. The more he tries to hide, the more suspicious he appears, fueling curiosity that's ready to mirror each step. In the ominous S-rank dungeon, Lake of Towering Bones, the ambitious fighter encounters him once more, seated casually atop a massive skull. With a smirk, his rival greets him, adding an unsettling calm to the eerie setting. Young hero's expression is filled with frustration as he spots Skylar once again. Surrounded by skeletal remains, he exclaims in irritation, clearly weary of these repeated encounters. The Demon King holds a rare item, the Bone Dragon Scale, as he greets his rival with a smirk, feigning concern. Frustrated, the determined warrior demands to know why he's being followed so persistently. In the S-rank dungeon, Breath of the Abyss, the frustrated fighter realizes that Skylar has found yet another rare material, the bottomless water. In despair, he lets out a scream. Enraged, the young fighter realizes he hasn't managed to secure a single rare item. All have fallen into his rival's hands. He yells in frustration, as his allies reassure him it's out of concern. The rival ponders why Feng was so eager to collect all the rare materials. Despite their rarity and high value, it doesn't seem like he needs money. So, what's his plan for them? Nolan, looking concerned, turns to the powerful ally, pleading for help in getting through to their frustrated friend. It's clear they're struggling to connect with him, and Nolan hopes this new influence will help. He, visibly eager, asks Skylar for permission to examine the materials he's gathered. His excitement is palpable as he wonders if these are the rare items he's been seeking all this time. The rare materials ignite in a bright flame, symbolizing the enhancement process. The fire engulfs the items, amplifying their power and preparing them for an even greater purpose. The rare materials undergo the combination process, merging to form a powerful artifact. Energy swirls around the items, creating something truly unique. The S-Class cleansing potion is created from the combination. Skylar holds the flask in quiet awe, realizing the significance of this rare artifact. Nolan is stunned as he realizes that this is the elusive S-Class cleansing potion. He recalls asking numerous alchemists, yet none of them were able to create it. Skylar calmly asks Nolan if he truly needs the potion. Seeing his response, he casually offers it, stating it's of no use to him. Nolan is left stunned. Nolan is utterly baffled, double-checking if Demon King is truly serious. Holding the potion, he's amazed that he's been handed such a rare artifact freely, with no conditions. Overwhelmed with gratitude, he vows to become Skylar's most devoted follower, who, taken aback, looks confused by such an intense and unexpected reaction. Annoyed by Nolan's over-the-top reaction, he pulls back, pointing out that it's just a standard S-class potion. Nolan is left puzzled, clearly not expecting such a response. Skylar, annoyed, wonders why, as the Demon King, he's suddenly acquiring another human follower. Abruptly, he shoves Nolan away, trying to shake him off, with Feng looking on. Consumed by rage, the determined fighter practically burns with fury upon realizing that Skylar assisted Nolan. Dane carefully addresses him, clearly worried about his volatile reaction. The dark entity watches the ambitious hero with confusion, noting his strange demeanor. He also wonders why the materials collected by this contender match those Nolan had been seeking for the potion. Skylar begins to suspect his own plan to win over Nolan might have backfired. He's baffled at how the hot-headed warrior managed to gather the required items, almost unintentionally achieving what he had planned. Demon King, filled with doubt, tries to understand why Feng is so convinced of Nox's demise. Deciding to hold off, he hopes to obtain an artifact that can restore a lost soul. Seething with anger, the determined hero blames his adversary for ruining his plans once again. He resolves not to let this happen anymore, determined to put an end to these interferences. Dane kneels, prepared to listen to his lord's orders. The young hero issues a brief and chilling command to eliminate Skylar, putting an end to his interference once and for all. The warrior is shocked by the command, his eyes widening in surprise. He can't believe his lord wants to kill the one who has saved them multiple times and proven himself to be a good person. Feng coldly orders Dane to stop arguing and just obey. He reminds him that he has been with him since childhood, always his loyal servant. Dane questions his own strength, admitting that the opponent's power is far beyond his abilities. He acknowledges he stands no chance against him. His commander urges Dane to employ a forbidden technique that temporarily raises him to SS rank. The warrior hesitates, fearing the technique might cost him his life. The ambitious hero questions Dane's loyalty, pressuring him to make a sacrifice for humanity's future and reminding him of his pledge to their cause. Dane kneels humbly, declaring he will sacrifice himself, not for humanity, but to fulfill the vow he made to his master. Skylar stands alone under the full moon in the quiet city park, gazing thoughtfully at the frozen fountain ahead. Demon King, alarmed, braces himself on the icy ground, exclaiming in shock as he realizes the water has frozen beneath him. He is stunned as he observes the pond freezing instantly, wondering in disbelief if he has somehow offended an SS rank figure. Dane activates a forbidden SS rank technique, his eyes glowing red. This power demands an immense amount of life energy, risking his vitality. Skylar rushes towards Dane, who stands surrounded by sharp ice shards. Dark Overlord wipes away blood from a fresh wound on his face, conveying both pain and determination as he braces for the next confrontation. Demon King, with a fierce grin and glowing red eyes, expresses excitement as he acknowledges his opponent as the first to wound him. Skylar smirks, showing minimal damage as his health and energy levels display nearly infinite values, mocking the opponent's efforts. Dane, his eyes glowing red, explains he intended to end everything in one strike out of respect for Skylar, hoping to avoid unnecessary suffering. Demon King, with a sly grin and a trail of blood on his cheek, remarks that he just so happens to be very intrigued by the strength his opponent possesses. He clutches his chest, feeling the cold seeping through him as if everything inside is freezing solid. Dane demonstrates his ability to control any liquid, even blood within a person's body, threatening from a distance. Dane notices that his victim's blood differs from ordinary blood and resists complete control, sparking his surprise and suspicion. Skylar is surprised by the intense black mana emanating from his counterpart, who dares to use demonic-like energy, risking his sanity. Under a stormy sky, Dane channels intense power, surrounded by a fiery blue aura that underscores his resolve and latent menace. Skylar resists a powerful energy, surrounded by spirals of blue light, reflecting his tension and willpower in this challenging ordeal. The fountain, surrounded by countless ice shards, appears frozen in the midst of a fierce storm. Exhausted, the hero accepts the end, realizing that his life is coming to a close. His face reflects a mix of sorrow and fatigue. The astonished hero, filled with disbelief and amazement, wonders how such a thing could be possible, his face showing complete bewilderment at his opponent. The astonished hero, filled with disbelief and amazement, wonders how such a thing could be possible, his face showing complete bewilderment at his opponent. Skylar calmly warns his opponent that his actions have doomed him to a swift demise, as using the forbidden technique has drained his life force. Dane is in shock, unable to understand why he is using his powers to heal him instead of finishing him off. His confusion deepens. Demon King dismissively responds to Dane, reminding him that he had no intention of letting him die, even though Dane had just tried to kill him. He respectfully mentions Dane's loyalty, but adds that any excuses are unnecessary. His goal has always been beyond minor details. Lena observes Skylar admiring his strength and kindness, noting that she has never met such a unique person before. Demon King suggested to Dane that he could play along if Dane feared explaining everything to his master. He offered to pretend to be injured or do something similar. The warrior slowly walks away, leaving Skylar in contemplation. Their meeting has ended, and now each is left with their own thoughts. Her, relieved, notes that one of his problems is solved. Now he has only one task left to handle. The hero wonders if he was too blunt, fearing that it might have aroused unnecessary suspicion. The trickster pretends to be injured, crouched on the ground as Lena hurries toward him, alarmed by his condition. Skylar, pretending to be injured, lies on the ground, breathing heavily, and smirks to himself. Ha ha, she fell for it. Lena is stunned. How could he remain unharmed after an attack from such a high-ranking fighter? He tries to understand how she ended up nearby. Answering the question about the portion, Lena explains that there was no one wealthier at the auction, so she bought the potion at a high price, but fears it might raise suspicion. She doubts. If his soul wasn't replaced, the potion might harm him instead of helping. With a smile, he assures Lena that her beauty has attracted plenty of admirers, adding that his concern is solely for her safety, as he warns of the risks tied to the new soul. She is surprised that Skylar finds her beautiful, admitting that only his compliments bring her joy rather than aversion. He admits that despite the girl's engagement to Feng, he worries about her and doesn't want her to be hurt. Grateful for his concern, she firmly promises to do everything possible to ensure her fiancé takes the potion. Demon King smirks, noting how easy it is to manipulate people, and adds that there's another person who can also be easily controlled. Dane, shocked by something unusual, thinks, "What? Possessed? Could it be that someone has taken over young Master Feng's body?" Nolan, looking around the table, notices that there are only 4 of them, and wonders where Lord Skylar and Dane are. The young master decisively states that there's no point in waiting for them and suggests starting the meal without those absent. He mentions that in his absence, he explored the nearby dungeons and mapped out routes, suggesting to follow him without hesitation. Lena considers that she needs to make the ambitious warrior drink the potion to verify if Lord Skylar's assumptions are correct. She informs him that she heard about his injury a few days ago and decided to prepare some medicine for him. The young leader promises Lena that he will treat her very well in the future and places his hand below her waist. He, noticing her embarrassment, asks if something is wrong, causing her intense anxiety. Blushing, Lena replies that everything is fine, though clearly uncomfortable. She reflects that the real young master would never behave this way. He has always been modest and shy. She concludes that Skylar was right in his suspicions. He places his hand on Lena's shoulder, making her blush and stammer as she asks him to back off. He just smiles innocently, pretending not to understand. Dane steps into the room, his presence towering. Nolan, surprised, exclaims at his return and asks if he was busy with something. Feng notices Dane's return and seems pleased. Dane managed to survive? Looks like the mission was a success. He warmly welcomes Dane back, expressing relief at his safe return. Yet there's a subtle tension in the air. Could his concern mask hidden motives? Dane reports to his commander, revealing he used a forbidden technique, sacrificing years of his life. The leader acknowledges this costly effort, hinting at future rewards. Feng's intense gaze reveals a moment of shock or realization. His wide eyes and sweat suggest something unexpected has deeply unsettled him. Skylar strides confidently, accompanied by Dane. His smirk hints at a daring survival. Dane leans in towards Feng, revealing a critical piece of information he's discovered. With a powerful strike, the determined hero forcefully pushes Dane back, his expression fierce and unyielding. Lena is visibly uneasy, cautioning her ally about Feng's strange behavior. Skylar, however, appears unfazed, giving off an air of confidence. Does he even see the threat? His expression is a mix of anger and confusion as he confronts her, struggling to understand her actions despite their close bond. Mia and Nolan are whispering, wondering if a conflict is brewing between Captain Feng and Skylar. Nolan seems surprised. Weren't they close friends? The young hero looks irritated, blaming Dane for failing at what he sees as a straightforward task. It seems their patience with each other is wearing thin. Dane is shocked by his commander's change. He once knew him as gentle and timid. Now, the leader's gaze is filled with disdain. What's really going on here? He clenches his fist, his face set with determination and hidden anger. It looks like he's made a choice, and retreat isn't an option. What's his plan? Nolan looks tense, wondering whose side to pick if a fight breaks out. Mia, with a sly smile and a cup in hand, seems to know more than she lets on. Dane seems anxious about Feng's health, offering him a mysterious potion, as if trying to make amends for a failed mission. The ambitious fighter accepts the potion from Dane with disdain, belittling him for his failure. To him, Dane is only useful as a servant. He grips the cup, realizing something's off. His eyes flare up ominously. His face twists in pain and confusion as if he's been tricked. Feng is in shock as a ghostly doppelganger chokes him, claiming he's the true one they care about. His eyes are wide with terror as his reality unravels. Lena and Mia look puzzled, unsure of who he's talking to and why he's so alarmed. Skylar stands with an arrogant smile, watching his rival, who looks humiliated and defeated. He urges him to make a grand scene, reminding him that knowing the artifact's location means little without power. The real contender, full of fury, struggles desperately to reclaim his body from the imposter. His spirit clashes powerfully, while the other self clutches his head in agony. Feng stumbles as the others watch in shock and confusion. His internal struggle intensifies, and he seems to be losing control. The true fighter fiercely fights for control over his body, hiding the truth from everyone around him and masking the inner conflict with a look of determination. The returning soul reflects under the night sky, feeling like a stranger in his own body. His soul returned from another world, but he fears he's fading away. He writes down his final thoughts, knowing this may be his last moment in this body. He hopes to leave something valuable, like a map from his otherworldly knowledge. As Feng reflects under the moonlight, he recalls the story of Cole, a brilliant figure destined to become a hero. His tale began with a dark encounter. The young warrior reviews the document, reflecting on this legendary journey. From another world's memories, he realizes the warrior is destined to defeat the Demon King. A mystical bird carries his letter, intended to reach Skylar in time. The letter holds crucial instructions to save the world from this dark threat. Reflecting on his life, he realizes that sending the letter may be the only good thing he's done. His soul weakens, preparing to leave the body for good. Frustration builds in fake Feng as he realizes he must hide his true identity at all costs. Tomorrow, he decides, is the day to eliminate all potential threats. Mia gazes in awe, realizing the dungeon holds a fragment of a divine artifact. Beside her, Nolan wonders if their captain's skills have already scared off the demons. Feng smugly follows the group up the stairs, his eyes fixed on the glowing artifact above. His plan to capture it seems to be unfolding perfectly. Lena looks determined as she instructs Dane to retrieve the artifact from their companion without causing harm. Dane, sweating slightly, nods in agreement. He unleashes a massive wave of power, demonstrating the artifact's might as it radiates energy. Dane and Lena are thrown into confusion and pain as the unexpected power surge from their ally hits them hard, leaving them questioning his intentions. Feng coldly decides to leave his allies behind, calculating that their demise will solidify his deception and prevent any doubts about his identity. Lena realizes the threat is closing in. Her eyes widen as demons surround them, each creature more terrifying than the last, ready to attack. Demons swarm from every corner, their claws bared and eyes blazing. The air crackles with menace as they dive toward their prey below. The team rushes up the stairs, realizing their energy is almost drained. They've been lured here, and the demons are closing in too quickly. Skylar decides to stay behind to cover the others, giving them a chance to escape. Danger looms, but he's willing to risk himself for the team. The team is stunned by his decision to stay behind and sacrifice himself. Shock and despair wash over them, realizing this might be his final stand. They realize Skylar sacrificed himself for them, and they know they must hurry to honor his decision and ensure his sacrifice wasn't in vain. Despite her interests, Mia realizes he is saving people. She hopes the Demon King will defeat the imposter. With a sly smile, he admits that only to these guys he's willing to reveal his true form, hinting at something dark and dangerous. In front of him stand three massive beasts, each with a menacing grin and burning eyes, as if waiting for their next move. The bold warrior confronts the demons with scorn. His words challenge them. Do they still remember him? Skylar unveils his demonic form, his face twisted in a sinister grin. Remember me? Seated atop the massive demons as their ruler, he commands with a menacing presence, a fiery-eyed skeleton and a beast flanking him, amplifying his dark power. Feng demonstrates the power of the artifact fragment, having made a blood pact. He's certain no one else can break this bond but him. He is shocked by the sudden appearance of a massive demon army. Dark creatures, surrounded by a sinister red glow, fill the space. Spotting a demon in human form, something creepily familiar hits him. His heart skips a beat. Wait, is that really him? He gazes up at the light, realizing the way to glory is right there. All he has to do is make it out, and he'll finally be the hero. A massive demon looms menacingly over the young fighter, commanding his allies to take the divine artifact fragment. The determined contender launches into action, his sword blazing with intense light as if daring the demon itself. The tension's peaking. It's now or never. He yells out, demanding to be released. Feng boldly declares his intent to escape no matter what. He sees himself as a hero, the savior of this world, empowered by the artifact fragment. Skylar watches his army with satisfaction, commanding them to attack without mercy. His confidence grows as darkness surrounds him. The fierce warrior fights back, pushing away his opponent while shouting in anger. He is trapped in a brutal clash. One demon holds his arms tightly while another sinks its fangs into him. The wounded hero rushes toward the exit, clinging to the hope of escape. Behind him, a demon's shadow looms closer, adding menace to his every step. Smirking seductively, the villain claims that hope is the cruelest form of violence, reveling in his opponent's suffering. His figure, bathed in light, reaches upward. He dreams of becoming a hero, yearning with all his heart and feeling that he's almost there. Demon King's sinister smile and glowing purple eyes make one thing clear. There's no escaping him. His power fills the air, making any attempt to flee pointless. Amid a storm of fire and flying debris, Feng descends with his sword ready. The world crumbles around him. Skylar is shocked as the divine fragment rejects him, not allowing him to even touch it. Questions and confusion overwhelm him, leaving him bewildered. Fen, lying in the flames with a bitter smile, reminds that the divine fragment is now bound to him by contract. Even his death won't break this bond. Skylar, with a displeased expression, contemplates the signed contract. It brings him quite a bit of trouble, sparking a feeling of annoyance in his eyes. A luminous figure, resembling Feng himself, towers over his defeated body, radiating a powerful aura. Observing the scene, the character wonders if the appearance of the young warrior's true soul is due to his transplanted soul becoming unstable from the injuries. The energy figure attacks his transplanted body, causing him pain and surprise from the sudden blow. The glowing figure fiercely reminds that he is Feng, and therefore he has the power to dissolve the contract. His energy bursts in a blinding explosion. The contract is dissolved. The divine artifact fragment reverts to a neutral state. The fallen fighter, in despair and anger, yells at the spirit of the true soul, calling him a fool. He scolds him for his past life, claiming he deserved to be killed at the very start of the story. The ghostly figure, resembling the body's rightful owner, looks down at the fallen foe with disdain. His words reveal the traitor's true intentions. Skylar holds the glowing fragment, contemplating his destiny. He's forging a contract with the artifact that was once meant to be used against him. A final smile and a warning. His rival shouldn't celebrate just yet. The artifact hasn't switched hands fully, and the outcome is still uncertain. Barely containing his rage, the defeated hero threatens that his family will seek vengeance if the artifact is lost. His gaze burns with hatred. With a storm of emotions, the warrior possessed by a foreign soul blames his enemy. He swears to return and exact revenge on those who betrayed him. The warrior's spirit tightens his hold, declaring he won't allow his corrupted side to wreak havoc using his body any longer. His other self panics, realizing that if this body dies, so does he. With intensity in his gaze, Feng entrusts Skylar with the divine fragment, convinced that only he can save this world from its impending doom. Skylar holds the glowing fragment, looking thoughtfully at Feng's spirit. Respect shines in his eyes. Was he really once called trash? The spirit laughs, realizing his fate is to fall alongside the enemy. He can't believe that a piece of trash like him is granted such a heroic death. The crowd cheers, watching the announcement on the big screen. A fragment of the legendary artifact has been found. Humanity has renewed hope against the demon force. The leader of the team that discovered this artifact, Bai Qing Feng, he's already being called the savior of humanity. In the hall of the Association of the Awakened, Nolan talks about Skylar, who found rare materials, created a cleansing potion, and gave it to Nolan for free. Dane exclaims that this is the kindest man he's ever known. He forgave the assassin sent after him and even helped him see the truth. The crowd excitedly discusses the hero. Wow, he's incredible! Heroes like him belong in books. His deeds have flooded the internet, making him a true icon for many. Mia explains that the association leader deemed the young warrior dangerous and immoral for trying to harm his own teammates. Now all the glory goes to the Demon King. She shares that everyone's talking about this hero's heroic deeds, believing he'll defeat the Dark Ruler. They're calling him the savior they can trust. The Dark Ruler calmly states that all the glory should go not to him, but to real Skylar. His face is impassive. The Demon King, with a sly smile, muses that no one will ever know the true hero's name, but they will remember a cruel and hypocritical man named Skylar. Mia looks at him and asks in surprise where her benefactor is headed. He is going to repay the debt for the valuable gift he received. In a meeting, it's revealed that the summoned soul from another world, residing in Feng's body, has perished. However, the summoner reassures them, saying she can call forth more souls like that. The parallel world summoner, one of the seven elders, confidently states that no one will notice a soul's transmigration into a trash body. People will just be glad for its sudden transformation. The elder questions, wondering if it's unfair to those who get possessed. They suddenly lose their body and identity, which is no different from being killed. She mockingly asks why he hesitates. Isn't it worth sacrificing a few for the peace of many? After all, a soul is also torn from its peaceful life. The summoner explains that by summoning souls from other worlds, they create a thrilling tale where souls passionately serve this world as if they were heroes. He nods in agreement, acknowledging that it is indeed a good plan. It seems he fully supports her idea. regret that the great prophet has fallen. Now, he can no longer take part in crafting their mystical books. Moreover, their schemes are in jeopardy. Her conversation partner suddenly transforms. One eye glows ominously red, and darkness surrounds his body. With a chilling tone, he foretells her imminent death. The summoner realizes in horror that this is not the real chairman. Shocked and fearful, she demands who he really is. The opponent suddenly delivers a fatal blow to the summoner, leaving her bleeding. He coldly replies, "Me? Just an opponent of passionate novels." Wounded, she stares with horror and anger. Her eyes are filled with confusion. She can't grasp why she was betrayed. The dark mage holds a glowing artifact, pondering how a fool sacrificed himself for this artifact. He dislikes being indebted and decided to repay the sacrifice somehow. One of the allies looks totally stunned. The great summoner is dead. Looks like the plans are changing. Though he only obtained one fragment, it's already weakened humanity. Even with the others, they can't fully seal the demon tower. Now what? Go back, or... The assistant hands Skylar an envelope, noting it arrived for him a few days ago. He appears intrigued, wondering who could have sent it. He's surprised as he reads the letter, realizing it's not a report or story, but a novel. The title hints that it's a collaborative work written by the great prophet and the summoner. The letter, carried by a magical owl, serves as a reminder of its purpose, a final message to aid the true hero in the battle against the Demon King. He ponders, has the true hero of this story yet to appear? Feng was just a side character, and the real protagonist, Cole, is fated to defeat the Dark Ruler before the first snowfall. A monstrous creature roars, its glowing orange eyes piercing through the storm, muscles tense and fangs bared. It's ready to unleash chaos. An unknown warrior lunges at the colossal demon, his fist crackling with lightning as he strikes. The monster freezes, realizing the force crashing down upon it. Spectators are stunned. They never expected this guy to handle an S-class monster. Praise and an offer to claim his reward confirm his victory. The warrior calmly declines the reward, stating he isn't interested in such a low-tier prize. He suggests they split it among themselves. When one of the fighters suggests teaming up, the warrior declines, stating he doesn't trust anyone and has no need for a team. A notification appears on the screen with a new quest. Defeat a water attribute demon. The reward is a 10-fold body enhancement, just what the warrior needs. His name is Cole, and he comes from an ordinary border town. Half a month ago, a system panel appeared before him, offering quests. Every completed quest brings amazing rewards. With each mission he completes, the young fighter strengthens his abilities. This path makes him progressively stronger, gradually leading to incredible power. Cole feels like the main character. Only he can see the system and missions, a unique gift that belongs solely to the chosen few. The warrior realizes that, to gain strength, it's crucial to keep a clear mind and stay cautious. His journey is long, but the day he reaches his goal will come. The assistant informs Skylar that a few weeks ago, he asked her to look for a hunter named Cole. Today, someone matching the description appeared in their headquarters lobby. He asks what season it is, and his assistant replies that they are approaching autumn. It seems he has something in mind. The aspiring hunter attempts to join the Hunter Association headquarters, but is declined. He is told his level is too low for the main office and is offered a branch position instead. Cole faces a challenge. His strength grows so quickly that the grading system can't keep up. He needs to be in the main office to access the latest info for missions. Skylar, impressed by the warrior's strength, invites him to join his team and help retrieve the next divine artifact, easing HQ access, but he refuses teammates. Cole sees a task from the system. He must join the Hunter Association headquarters by the end of the day. Reward: a 10-fold increase in magic power. Young man's mysterious behavior catches the attention of those around him. One observer wonders, why is he staring into space and daydreaming? The character recalls a familiar situation, noting that it resembles events connected to Nox, nostalgia, or a forewarning. An unknown figure gets into a bright yellow car, ordering the driver to head to the Hunter Association headquarters and to hurry. Memories and fear push the hero to hurry. After reincarnating, he's desperate to prevent his future downfall while there's still a chance. The future version of Cole, having undergone reincarnation, strives to protect his past self. The man he's facing now is actually the Demon King. Registration complete. Aged 20 years old, D-Class Hunter, is now officially part of Skylar's team and has joined the Hunter Association. With this mission complete, Cole has not only joined the top organization, but also increased his magic power limit by 10 times, validating the system's guidance. He marvels at his power, believing it to be at an entry-level B-Class. In just half a month, he reached this level, wondering if he might be the chosen one. Fully immersed in his fantasies, the aspiring hero confuses those around him. Mia, however, calmly explains that he's just going through a Chunabu phase. After receiving secret information on the location of the second divine artifact fragment, Skylar calls on Cole to prepare for departure. His fans are thrilled. He actively defends humanity and already knows about the second divine fragment. To them, he's an irreplaceable hero. A crowd of devoted fans surrounds the famous hero, inspired by his dedication to saving humanity. They excitedly ask for his autograph, calling him the Savior. Blushing under admiring gazes, the hero shyly smiles, claiming he supports the next generation. But in his thoughts, he admits his true goal is to stay safe in the city and eliminate the newcomer on the outskirts. Under the quiet night sky, an abandoned inn on the city outskirts becomes their resting place after a long day's journey, providing a brief moment of peace. Gathered around a campfire, the group reflects on the town's tragic fate, once lively but now desolate after demon attacks, as they prepare to move on. The leader organizes the group's rest. Boys and girls will sleep separately, and everyone will take turns keeping watch through the night, following his order. At midnight, a new mission notification surprises him. Head 3 kilometers north to an A-class dungeon and eliminate a demon puppet. Reward, S-class potion. At midnight, a new mission notification surprises him. Head 3 kilometers north to an A-class dungeon and eliminate a demon puppet. Reward, S-class potion. Cole steps out briefly, pondering how each mission has strengthened him. Perhaps the system is refining his skills, reinforcing his belief in being the chosen one. He firmly assures the group he'll return by morning, needing to forge his own path. To grow stronger, he knows he can't be held back by others' judgments. Around the campfire, the team debates the risk of taking a newbie. While some doubt his strength, others defend him, saying the boss sees real potential in him. Skylar reassures the group, suggesting that the newbie has his own business to handle and will likely return safely. He encourages everyone to rest early. Standing in the ominous A-class dungeon, he recalls the system's instructions, wondering where the target known as the puppet might be hiding. In a burst of energy, Cole leaps into action, confronting multiple puppet-like figures, each swinging towards him with hostile intent. His injured hand throbs painfully. Without high-grade weapons or potions, he realizes his only option is to fight directly, facing challenges head-on. He exerted all his strength but barely scratched the enemy. Each random attack leaves him defenseless, forcing him to dodge continuously, overwhelmed. He realizes there's no escape. The A-class dungeon ordeal looms. Was this system's test predestined, or did he act too recklessly? A cloaked figure bursts into the lobby of the Hunter Association, demanding the whereabouts of Cole. Urgency and desperation fill his voice. A receptionist, looking anxious, explains that the association's policies prevent her from disclosing any information about the Hunter's activities. The warrior from another time realizes that Cole has already registered as a hunter and has joined a mission with his new team. The hooded figure realizes he must act quickly, fearing his other self will unknowingly walk into the system's trap. Inside the abandoned inn on the outskirts, the Demon King quietly studies a mysterious red symbol, while others sleep peacefully nearby. Skylar manipulates glowing red strings, planning the demise of an unrecognized hero. Confident, he considers his flawless alibi and lack of motive. The dark mastermind controls the puppet and system panel, setting a trap for his unsuspecting target. Confidently, he muses that no one will suspect his ploy. The Demon King manipulates a puppet with red threads, a sinister grin on his face. The system prompts for the next task, but he decides there won't be another chance for his target. Strolling through his grand palace, the Dark Ruler reflects on how comfortable his domain is. Since he defeated the Otherworld's Feng, the human realm feels dull. He now awaits the arrival of the famed protagonist, Cole. Skylar recalls that the system provided Nox with powerful weapons and potions, admiring its intelligence and precision in following instructions. He commands the system, leveraging its intelligence to locate the young hero, reflecting confidence in its knowledge of human behavior. Skylar schemes to manipulate his target, instructing the system to lure him with small rewards and make him believe he's the chosen one, sparing him years of effort. The system acknowledges the Demon King's command, assuring that Cole will be delivered within half a month. The Dark Ruler, confident, replies he'll be waiting. Standing before an empty throne, the dark figure taunts, wondering if Nox has finally grown accustomed to his fate as a mere chair rather than a human. Facing the throne, Skylar reflects on his past views of humanity, once believing all were like his former rival, smart, cautious, brave. Yet he now realizes true heroes are as rare as they are short-lived. With a hint of irony, he reveals to the former hero that his younger brother Feng shares the same heroic spirit, just like him. Half a month ago in a border town, a young man lies in his bed, startled by an unexpected sound coming from outside his home. He sits up in his bed, questioning if his hunger is causing hallucinations, as he hears a notification sound echo in the room. The system panel appears before him, offering him a path to strength through daily missions. His confusion is evident as he reads about rewards and becoming stronger. The scene unfolds in an A-class dungeon. Filled with determination, he surges forward, electricity crackling around him. His intense gaze reflects his desire to grow stronger. He, enveloped in a fierce aura of blue lightning, strikes down upon his opponent with unyielding confidence, proclaiming his destiny as the chosen one. Determined, Cole mentally fortifies himself, refusing to give up even in the face of adversity. A brutal strike lands, tearing through flesh with intense force. Blood splatters as the vicious puppet delivers a powerful blow, leaving a trail of violence in its path. With a fierce shout, he commands his strength to break through. His electrified fist strikes the puppet, aiming to shatter it entirely. His hands hover over a small puppet, channeling a crimson glow that surrounds it. Intrigued, he observes as the energy begins to react, ready for his next command. Skylar smirks, observing his puppet glowing with energy. Defeating an A-rank puppet? It wasn't for nothing he prepared this intricate trap of equal rank. As expected from the one foretold by the great prophet and summoner, he thinks. Without his interference, perhaps in 10 years, this figure would truly have become the next Nox. Cole, visibly anxious, questions whether this is truly the end. He wonders why the system hasn't provided his reward yet, expecting an S-class potion. Looking surprised and alert, he responds with a questioning "what?" as he turns to assess the situation around him, ready for any unexpected threat. Demon King stands confidently with his sword in hand, tauntingly questioning if his opponent is contemplating his last words for the next life. Cole senses a powerful presence and questions if it's a new puppet, feeling the weight of the oppressive aura. Doubt creeps in as he wonders if he can defeat it. In the Hunter Association's main hall, he urgently demands assistance for his mission. He insists on hiring a teleport-skilled hunter immediately, offering to pay any price to fulfill his request. Skylar watches with a sinister grin, observing as present-day Cole, wounded and exhausted, struggles under the weight of his injuries, collapsing to the ground in defeat. The figure contemplates his swift rise, wondering if he could be the prophesied child of prophecy. His power seems to have developed far faster than foretold. Events have taken an unexpected turn in the last 2 months, with the deaths of Nox, the Prophet, and the spatial summoner Phylan in quick succession. Only 4 of the 7 elders remain, and they face an unprecedented crisis that threatens the very future of humanity. The elder declares that only 4 of the 7 elders remain, facing an unprecedented crisis for humanity's future. A pink-haired reassures others that even if Cole, known as the Child of Prophecy, makes mistakes, his fate remains unchanged. The elder with piercing red eyes expresses a willingness to give him a chance to start over. One of the elders, with a look of alarm, contemplates the possibility of the hero's rebirth, his expression filled with deep concern and disbelief. The pink-haired figure contemplates that allowing the Chosen One's rebirth would create a paradox, with 2 versions of him in this timeline. The future remains uncertain. Realizing he's no match for the approaching figure filled with power, the warrior can only try to flee as the threat looms closer, his heart pounding in fear. Cole barely manages to dodge the powerful attack, feeling the intense energy as it grazes him. He realizes the immense strength of his opponent. The protagonist is shocked by his opponent's incredible speed as blood spills from a fresh wound. He realizes he's facing an overwhelmingly swift adversary. The antagonist smiles, correcting his adversary's misconception. He implies that even a fall from such a height wouldn't be fatal due to their unique attributes. The antagonist speculates on his opponent's potential abilities, considering flight as a cover for escape. Yet, he declares his intent to kill him personally. The Demon King assumes his opponent's heart is located on the right side, planning to target it. However, he decides to strike the head for certainty. Cole realizes that this might be his end. With his heart already wounded, he questions if his rapid progress led him to this fate. The Dark Overlord, wielding a menacing sword, declares the time has come, standing over the young hero, ready to strike decisively. Just as the figure attempts a crucial action, he's interrupted by a sudden call from behind. He reacts with irritation, his focus momentarily shattered. A report is delivered to the captain, confirming that intelligence about an SS-level dungeon was accurate. A fragment of a divine artifact was found nearby. He barely escapes a powerful attack, leaving flames in their wake. Seated on the ground, they realize they narrowly evaded the danger. The group prepares for a mission to the SS-level underground dungeon, planning to set off the next day. Skylar smirks with a dark plan, thinking it's ideal for the young warrior to perish in the perilous SS-level dungeon, hinting at hidden motives. Cole from an alternate timeline urgently requests teleportation to a rare SS-level dungeon in the southeast. The assistant confirms the teleportation arrangements. Filled with determination, he recalls the SS-level dungeon where he once lost his life. This time, he seeks both victory over the Demon King and the divine artifact fragment. Cole reflects on his recent mission, nearly fatal due to its difficulty. Frustrated with his own limitations, he resolves to grow stronger as quickly as possible. A notification appears. For completing his mission, he's awarded a random S-rank potion. Surprised and pleased, he considers taking on the next task. The protagonist receives a notification that his latest mission reward is a rare S-rank potion. With excitement, he reacts, impressed by the prize level. The hero contemplates the upcoming challenge, aware of its danger. After a recent close call, he realizes he must be more cautious this time. The character is overwhelmed with rewards and notifications flooding the screen. These bonuses include an S-rank weapon, a treasure map, wealth, healing potions, and lucky armor. The hero, energized by the ease of gaining power, feels a surge of excitement. He wonders if his past caution was truly necessary. Cole muses that hard work and persistence are only for the weak. A true genius should simply go with the flow, as he is the chosen one. Mia informs the newcomer to prepare, as they are heading to a nearby SS-rank dungeon where traces of fragments have been discovered. He firmly tells her he won't be joining them further, as he has his own tasks to attend to. His unexpected response leaves her startled. Expressing concern, she reminds the newcomer that they're part of the same team and must follow the captain's orders for everyone's safety. The group confronts Cole, criticizing his arrogance and harsh behavior toward their teammate. One member steps forward, ready to teach him a lesson. The system prompts him to apologize for his actions against the girl, warning that rejecting the task will result in being banned from using the system. Panic sets in, as he realizes the system threatens disqualification over a minor prank, questioning if the task is too humiliating to complete. Lena demands that Cole apologize to Mia, warning him to act respectfully or deal with her. The rest of the group supports her call for an apology. He falls to his knees, begging for forgiveness, admitting his mistakes repeatedly. The team stands before him, watching his desperate plea. Humiliated, he acts like an obedient puppy, bowing to both Lena and her friend, who watch him with amusement, questioning his sanity. Cole, overwhelmed with shame, covers his face in despair, deciding to flee from the embarrassing situation, while others watch in the background. Lena laughs, assuring her friend not to pay attention to his odd behavior. Smiling, she agrees, saying she had no intention to. A version of the hero from another time stands before the SS-rank dungeon, where the artifact fragment crucial for defeating the demon is hidden. Acquiring it first may give him the power needed for the confrontation. He faces the daunting challenge of the dungeon. For centuries, no one has succeeded, not due to powerful monsters, but because of the complex rules that govern it. Cole encounters his own reflection in the dungeon. To escape, one must defeat their own copy, but no one has ever succeeded in doing so. The version of the hero faces a mirror in the dungeon. To escape, one must eliminate their double, a challenge no one has ever overcome. He charges forward, determined that only his future self can overcome his present form to claim victory. Armed with the thunder and lightning weapon, the future warrior anticipates every move, using his past self's habits to gain an advantage. The future self seizes his other form in a powerful grip, finally gaining the upper hand in their intense battle. With a surge of power, he shatters his duplicate. Declaring himself the chosen one, he becomes the only one to conquer light, revealing its immense energy and potential for his quest. Even after losing the system, Cole declares himself the chosen son of the heavens, gripping the radiant fragment with firm resolve. He proclaims that he won't just become a true hero, but will also slay the demon. Once his vengeance is complete, he'll be even more magnificent. Cole senses that the moment has arrived. The demon is about to appear from the shadows before him. A version of the hero from another time feels an eerie vibe creeping in, as if the shadows are closing in. He can't shake off the sense of looming danger. A fierce clash erupts as he spots an artifact shard on the opponent's blade. The stakes just got higher, and he knows he has to act fast. Amid crackling energy, Cole steels himself. He knows he must act decisively. With unwavering confidence, he commits to believe in himself. With a surge of energy, his attack finally connects. The impact radiates, and a fierce satisfaction glows in his eyes. He did it. Cole's confidence blazes as he claims victory, believing he's struck down the legendary demon lord. The thrill of triumph fuels his fierce grin. His shock is unmistakable. His triumphant grin fades as he realizes something's gone horribly wrong. This fight might not be over just yet. Dazed, the warrior freezes as his opponent appears, an uncanny echo from another time. He struggles to grasp how this figure, once lost to history, stands before him now. Staring at the lifeless form of himself? Cole's mind reels. How could he have struck down his own double? A haunting mystery surrounds him. His eyes widen as confusion fills the air. Someone points out an impossible sight, two versions of Lee Hee standing side by side. Reality feels shattered. The truth hits hard. This dungeon is notorious for creating clones. Here, they're forced to fight against twisted versions of themselves. A brutal test awaits. It dawns on Dane that the hero must confront his own reflection. A chilling showdown with himself lies ahead. The team charges forward, but the question lingers. Where's the real one? Amid illusions and shadows, finding him might be harder than they thought. They spot what seems like a fake version of their ally, likely a monster in disguise. Without hesitation, they prepare to strike, determined to take it down. In a moment of panic, he realizes the attack is aimed at him, not an imposter. He struggles to get the words out, desperate to reveal his true identity. His thoughts race. His artifact attack barely affects humans. A sinking feeling grips him as he realizes he might not stand a chance against them. Cole's mind spirals. Why did he end up killing himself? And why did his double appear here, bearing the form of the Demon Lord? Nothing adds up. Just half a day ago, he barely survived a mission. Staring out the window, he realizes he's still too weak and resolves to push himself harder. Our hero receives his reward from the recent mission, a rare S-rank transformation potion. He marvels at its power, knowing it could save him in a critical moment. Cole reads the mission details. Enter the Mirror of Rebirth dungeon and defeat a monster, a clone of himself. The system urges him to use the transformation potion for a stronger form, making the task easier. Facing the mysterious Mirror of Rebirth, our hero recalls the system's vague assurances. Yet, an uneasy feeling lingers. Can this strange ritual truly succeed? 707? His gaze sharpens as he notices an unexpected presence. Confusion flickers across his face. Who could this be, appearing out of nowhere? He inspects his doppelganger, noting the unusual scars covering this version. Something feels amiss. Perhaps the system glitched. Yet, with the artifact fragment in its grip, this double clearly assumes the role of the dungeon's boss. A triumphant grin spreads across the scared warrior's face. He believes he's finally defeated the Demon Lord. The thrill of victory lights up his eyes, sealing his confidence. Lying defeated, his mind races with disbelief. He thought he was chosen, destined for greatness, following every command the system gave. How did it all go wrong? He gasps in pain, realization hitting hard. This world twists his past life's memories, diverging from everything he once knew. Here, he wasn't the Demon Lord, and he didn't walk this path alone. Bruised and battered, he reflects on his return 3 days ago. He tried not to interfere with the world's flow, teleporting straight to the dungeon. Yet something still went wrong. The future version of Cole lies defeated as the team arrives, unaware of his identity. They mentioned the dungeon boss wasn't strong, yet he still managed to take down their ally. Future Cole, beaten and restrained, faces Skylar's fury as he demands the team, unaware of who's really with them. Declaring he has no place in this world. The scarred fighter's eyes go wide, struck by the possibility that his rival may have uncovered his true nature. A mix of dread and disbelief overtakes him. Skylar taunts the wounded warrior, questioning his belief in being a chosen son of the heavens, hinting that he isn't the only one who's returned to the past. Realization dawns on the scarred warrior as he locks eyes with Demon King. His expression shifts, understanding the truth behind the cryptic words. Lying defeated on the ground, future Cole stares at his fallen counterpart. A lingering thought echoes in his mind. He was supposed to be the protagonist. With excitement, Mia presents the second fragment to Skylar, declaring the mission a success. Their faces light up in triumph and relief. He's thankful to her for her hard work, but she modestly replies that nothing would have been possible without the captain. Skylar holds the glowing artifact, deciding it's best to keep it safe. He reflects on the danger they faced to secure it, feeling relieved they succeeded. The leader gestures to his crew, indicating it's time to go. His teammates acknowledge, gathering behind him as they leave the shadowy dungeon together. Holding the artifact, Skylar considers hiding it where no one could ever reach, perhaps within the tower's depths. He scans the crystalline chamber thoughtfully. With the artifact in hand, Demon King asks to secure both fragments within the tower and wonders how he might avoid a chest injury in the future. Seated on a throne, the warrior receives a warning. In 2 months, snow will fall, and a hero named Blake will deal him a near-fatal blow, leaving him on the edge of life and death. Skylar addresses his other self from another time, confirming he'll be safe for the next 2 months. He then asks how his double plans to handle things until then. The copy of him comments on the oddity of talking to himself, admitting he's still too weak. He reminds his counterpart that it's been 3 months since he last went to the tower. Has he completely forgotten about it? Demon King possesses a passive skill to stabilize his blood within the tower, making him unkillable there. Skylar chuckles, comparing himself to a princess trapped in a tower. The Dark Ruler warns him to be cautious, as the 7 sages constantly grow in power. Ignoring them won't end well. He mentions the prophecy and the elder who can travel through time, uncertain of the future's course. The dark entity reflects on his 3 exhausting months in this world, tirelessly seeking fragments. He's learned much about their enemies, their skills, and lifestyle, giving them greater advantages for future attacks. The armored figure questions his counterpart's arrogance, reminding him of the years spent trapped in the tower. He wonders how the other version would fare under similar circumstances. With a smug grin, Skylar declares he's off on vacation, dismissing the tension. His copy glares in frustration, muttering that he's never seen anyone so irritating. A broadcast congratulates the hero and his team on securing the second artifact fragment. The announcement promises that the tower will soon be sealed, bringing hope for humanity's future. The red-haired stranger marvels at the city's look from 20 years ago, amazed by the crowd. They relish the fresh air, clouds, and blue sky, saying it feels like a scene from a book. He, referred by the system as 13th, is reminded to appreciate this chance as a divine opportunity. The floating blue spirit urges them to locate the artifact fragments. 13th confidently promises to complete the divine mission, determined to succeed. The blue spirit hovers nearby, seemingly guiding and encouraging their resolve. The red-haired decides to take it slow, eager to let the gods observe human city life through his experience. Nearby, surprised onlookers react to his unusual behavior. Amazed, he excitedly holds up a cup, marveling at the legendary coffee he's only read about in books. His wide-eyed enthusiasm lights up the coffee shop. 13th sips the legendary coffee cautiously, relishing each taste. Nearby, the barista, feeling sorry for him, thinks about offering a discount. Both 13th and Skylar take their first sip of coffee, instantly recoiling from the overwhelming bitterness. A harsh reality check indeed. They are horrified by the taste of coffee, questioning if humans actually drank this. The waitress notices, amused at their reaction. Visiting Cinema 13th ponders humanity's fragility, marveling at their weakness. Skylar muses that this weakness led to his creation and purpose. Red-haired is praised for hitting the target 40 times in a row. For the first time, he realizes rewards can be won without bloodshed. Skylar holds his prize but questions its value. Despite setting a record, he wonders, what's the point of such a useless reward? The red-haired beams with joy, clutching his plush prize. Onlookers smile, amused by his unexpected delight over the stuffed toy. They stroll through the ancient city, captivated by the sights. A world from a 1,000-year-old era is indeed fascinating, Demon King muses. The scene shifts to the bustling city center zoo, where visitors stroll along the paths, enjoying a sunny day under the clear sky. Seeing the caged animals, our red-haired visitor shouts passionately about the injustice, moved by the sight of their pitiful state. Gripping the fence, he questions the purpose of life if confined from birth to death, insisting these animals hold importance. 13 shouts out, warning of the danger and questioning why everyone laughs. 754. Outraged, Skylar questions why they torment the creature, challenging them by saying even a demon lord wouldn't be so cruel. The guard angrily orders them to stop interrupting the show, sending both of them flying with a forceful push. Skylar observes the zoo, calling it a strange place, while his companion looks on with excitement and curiosity. The young character exclaims in awe, claiming to have seen this legendary figure in history textbooks, thrilled as if he's meeting a deity. The red-haired youth desperately pleads to join the hero's team, vowing to be useful and begging to search for fragments together. He is surprised to learn that the red-haired stranger possesses a system of his own, though it's noted that theirs are not identical. The gods eagerly encourage the red-haired stranger to unite with a demon to retrieve the artifact fragments, even offering rewards. The red-haired eagerly shares he knows the next fragment's location, while the other accepts him into the team without hesitation. Leo introduces himself, mentioning that his family name doesn't matter as much as his number. He was born 2 years after the war, driven to find fragments with his team. In 2 months, the demon lord will suffer a fatal injury, disrupting the balance between demons and humans. A new war looms, as uncontrolled demons flood into the world, turning the planet into a battlefield. Words like apocalypse, war, death, and survival will become bedtime stories for children. The clash between demons and humans was inevitable. However, humanity soon realized that while demons couldn't be easily killed, they could at least be subdued. Money, resources, enemies, weapons. Humans turned out to be far scarier than demons. It's said that the demonic race was born from human negative emotions, but no one imagined that a truly grand event would occur 5 years later. The year I turned 3, a god appeared on our planet. Due to the battle between demons and humans, he finally decided to reveal himself to the world. This god, a multidimensional being, observes all life. The planet has turned into an arena for live broadcasts, where battles are waged to entertain the gods. For defeating the 99 remaining players, a reward of 1,000 coins is given. The harsh rules of live broadcasts force people into battles against demons, beasts, and each other. Humanity has become nothing more than playthings for the gods. Over several years, the native population sharply declined. By the Demon King's death, Only a tenth of humanity survived. Nearly all animals and plants vanished, with 99% of water and soil becoming unusable. As nature became uninhabitable, humans started living in cages, much like zoo animals, as gods continued sending them into battle. The cages shielded the remaining survivors, providing them with essentials for survival. At 10 years old, he received his number, 13, and lived in Park 12, Cage 48. Children born after the Demon King's death were labeled the warrior generation, later becoming slaves. To sustain their lives, gods forced them to perform in shows, granting a chance for survival. The planet drastically changed. Life mirrored ancient Rome, where slaves fought beasts to win favor. Generations after sought one goal: master the art of combat to kill their rivals, securing survival in a brutal world. Gods discussed the young red-haired warrior, placing wagers and offering coins for his survival. They're eager to see if he'll endure the fight and become a star. The warrior reflects on gaining the god's favor, allowing him to meet a time-traveling elder. His task: recover an ancient artifact fragment. He dreams of traveling 20 years back to prevent the human-demon clash, imagining a live broadcast in a time when humanity thrived. He realizes that the god needs many slaves for his show. He decides it's better for humanity to be enslaved than let 100,000 perish in a pointless war. Before returning to the past, the elder suggested saving lives in the past to change a doomed future, questioning obedience to the gods. In this past era, comfort is greater than in the future. He wonders if change is possible. But can a lion raised in a cage defy its master? He raises his hand confidently, ready to move forward. The Ancient Association of Hunters is now one of the world's most powerful organizations. The system is working to crack Leo's unique system. Progress is slow, but it reveals that only he can access it. Observing Leo's animated gestures, it's obvious to anyone that something unusual is going on. Meanwhile, a hint reveals, "You are not a human." Observers note that the strange illness seems to be affecting both the enigmatic leader and the young man. They whisper among themselves, noticing that he appears to be talking to himself. As Mia observes the newcomer being introduced to the team by Skylar, a thought crosses her mind. She wonders, surprised, how the Demon Lord could admire humans. The team members greet the newcomer with warm smiles, their curiosity evident. They recognize him as the new recruit their captain brought into their midst. The red-haired warrior confidently greets everyone, his friendly demeanor inviting trust. The team observing the newcomer hopes this one won't be as strange as the last recruit. With a bright laugh, Leo confidently declares he feels perfectly cozy here, his cheerful spirit lighting up the moment. This place feels warmer than anywhere he's known before. Reflecting on the past, Mia tells a simple wish: to live warmly, dress well, and never go hungry. Then life would truly be happy. A place where one can eat every day and wear warm clothes. It's a blessing, a gift of food and shelter. Gratitude is the least one can offer. The atmosphere lightens as the group celebrates the comfort of having a home. Nolan, curious, wonders if the newcomer ever had teammates. The brutal theme used to force him into a twisted performance of survival, facing off against allies. Leo recalls his past encounters with teammates, hinting at the harsh alliances he's formed before. The comment leaves his companion slightly taken aback. Skylar silently recalls his teammates, a version of himself from another time and various monsters he fought alongside. He hesitates, almost revealing his belief to collect all 10 fragments of the divine artifact, stand undefeated, and dominate humanity. He quickly realizes it's better left unsaid. The group unites, placing their hands together in solidarity. Their goal is clear: to strive with all their might to obtain the third fragment of the divine artifact. The team arrives at the SS-tier Abyssal Maze, a vast, intricate labyrinth filled with an ominous darkness that seems to stretch on forever. The third fragment of the divine artifact lies within this rule-bound dungeon. Leo steps into the Abyssal Maze, surprised by the unexpected crowd around him. He thought it would be a solitary journey, yet the place is swarming with people. The Abyssal Maze is a rule-based realm, much like the SS-tier Twin Mirrors dungeon, with strict laws governing causality and function. Each action aligns with the unique rules set here. Similarly, the Demon Tower's top floor follows the Bloodlock and infinite magic power rules, preferred by the Demon Lord. The Abyssal Maze has 100 entrances, and teams from all over have gathered to venture in. The competition is fierce, with dozens preparing for the challenge ahead. Whispers fill the air as onlookers notice one of the association's most powerful teams approaching. Speculation rises that this team might become the greatest, especially after Nox's death. Excitement peaks as they spot the fearless leader. Leo dramatically laments the sudden leak of information about the artifact's location, feeling his role as informant has lost value. Skylar reassures Leo with a firm hand on his shoulder, promising that as a teammate, he'll stand by him until the end. With confidence, he insists they'll overcome anything side by side. With intense determination, the young informant swears he'll do his best, despite his unlucky name, 13. His leader notes his fierce resolve and thinks, good, he bought it. Together, they move onward. Each team has chosen its entry, and now it's time to move forward. Their captain reminds everyone, the artifact fragment lies at the end of the maze. They step into the unknown. The team stands in awe within the vast chamber. Nolan eagerly surveys the surroundings, noticing inscriptions on the wall that outline the rules, signaling they're nearing their goal. The ominous rules are etched in stone, forcing the team to confront a chilling choice. Only the last survivor will proceed, and no path is incorrect here. Leo realizes the rules have taken effect, intensifying the danger as enchantments fill the area, sealing their fates within the maze's dark corridors. Leo's thoughts grow darker as he realizes the severity of their situation. If they can't complete the task, they might be trapped here forever. Must they really turn on each other? He watches in disbelief. How can these people just chat and joke, completely oblivious to the danger and hopelessness of their situation? Leo is alarmed, watching as Mia raises her hand, seemingly preparing to attack Nolan. His mind races. What is she planning to do? 13 realizes that each teammate might be feigning calmness to catch others off guard. Meanwhile, he yearns to complete the task and return home. His cookies are still in the oven. As they prepare for the challenge, one team member jokingly asks another to use his S-rank skill to turn leftover milk into ice cream, causing some playful banter. Anxious, Leo questions why he seems to be the only one worried about the rules. He wonders if they truly trust each other or if there's another reason. Leo receives a small ice figurine from his companion, who jokingly refers to it as his ice cream. Nolan, noticing the warmth around, offers Leo a chance to cool off with an icy charm, humorously remarking that winter is on its way soon. Leo feels a mix of gratitude and unease as he realizes how well his teammates treat him. He's drenched in a cold sweat, but grateful for their kindness. He reflects on how kind his teammates are, a thought that weighs heavily as he whispers to himself, I don't want to kill them. Skylar firmly reminds his team that they aren't here for a stroll. He urges everyone to prepare, as breaking the fragment will demand their full focus. With a determined expression, he silently wishes his teammates wouldn't perish in this ordeal. Desperation fills his eyes as he insists on finding another way. A confident figure of Demon King unleashes powerful energy, dismissing any need for alternative solutions. His aura radiates strength, leaving little room for doubt. Leo is puzzled, trying to make sense of Skylar's intense action on the rule-inscribed Steely. The brightness blinds him, leaving him questioning what just happened. Demon King dismisses the rules as absurd, suggesting they simply break them instead. He steps confidently forward, curious about their next path in the maze. 13 is in shock. He realizes Skylar has broken the rules, shattering boundaries. A thought dawns. Why follow rules at all? Was he even meant for this? For as long as he can remember, he's been enslaved by the god. The rules were simple. Kill your close ones, or challenge a demon. 3 hours of endless battles. He always followed the rules, never questioning them, not even imagining the freedom of the open sea. If you dislike the rules, just break them. They don't confine their choices to rules, relying on their own judgment. As long as there's hope, they won't give up on anything. Realizing the rules are too harsh, the red-haired reflects that no one deserves to perish because of them. He wonders if he's been trapped not by a beast, but by his own fears. Reflecting on his past, Leo questions his obedience. Though sent by God to this place, he wonders why he must still follow divine orders. He considers ignoring divine commands and altering the future. Could he prevent the tragic events set to unfold in 20 years? He once told the elder that they had no hope. But now, walking through the shattered path, he finally sees a glimmer of it ahead. It's no surprise that after joining forces with the Demon Lord, they no longer fear anything. His strength alone instills belief in them. They're shocked that the fragment has already been taken. Skylar's strength wasn't enough this time, making their fates now uncertain. Someone completed the task and claimed the reward in a flash, leaving them astounded. Who could have acted so swiftly, almost instantly? With the task seemingly complete, they turn to leave, their steps trailing behind. As they move through the eerie hallway, admiration grows for whoever endured all the brutal trials. Only the strongest could have survived this ordeal. In the shadowy corridor, he spots their teammates in the distance, relieved to see familiar faces amidst the eerie surroundings. They arrive just in time, witnessing hunters who, upon seeing the brutal rules, chose to leave without attacking one another, but as they reach the first entrance, they notice that someone had completed the trial, while the rest of the team members had perished. A truly ruthless person. A chilling sense of foreboding fills him as he clutches his chest, unsure of the source of this ominous feeling. A sudden realization strikes him. Could this really be the same person who will defeat the Demon Lord in 2 months? Doubts linger as he observes him closely. The currents grow stronger, intensifying conflicts between demons and humans. Resources are split among clans, mirroring the power shift from east to west centuries ago. Gravel House stands as a symbol of legacy among the seven great clans. 1,000 years ago, the Gravel ancestor collected 10 fragments of the artifact, sealing the Demon Tower. This act cemented the Gravel family's reputation. The Arden and Kerrigan families emerged from the merging of Western and Eastern clans, gaining strength and advantages recently. However, since the loss of Fung and Nox, the Kerrigan clan has started to fall behind the Arden family. Currently, the six leading clans are preparing for a battle for supremacy. In the most turbulent times, heroes have always emerged. 1,000 years ago, a hero from the Gravel family brought honor to the clan with his deeds, and now, once again, the time for heroes is upon us. For now, the Hunters Association is preparing to face the demons, so rushing into action is unnecessary. Urgent news reaches the leader. A mysterious and powerful intruder is outside. Many guards have already been injured trying to hold him back. A loyal protector is outraged by the audacity of an attack on their family in broad daylight. His anger is palpable as he prepares to defend against this threat. A mysterious figure rides into the scene on a majestic winged beast, leaving onlookers puzzled by their unusual attire. An imposing figure, exuding authority, remarks on the weakness he perceives in others. Mounted on a fierce, mythical beast, he recalls how the family has declined over the last millennium. A glint of recognition sparks as bystanders notice the artifact fragment embedded in his sword. They quickly connect him to the elusive hunter who shattered the fragment in the labyrinth. A dignified figure dismisses the term hunter with a hint of disdain, revealing his true identity as Gravel Yufei. He invites others to simply call him Ancestor. The elder is visibly shocked, recognizing Gravel Yufei, the legendary hero who shattered the 10 fragments of the ancient artifact 1,000 years ago. The legend claims that Gravel Yufei mysteriously vanished after sealing the Demon Tower. Could he have traveled through time? How can he prove his identity? The hero claims he needs no proof. The family needs strength now, and he's the only one capable of aiding them. That alone should be enough. In Gravel Yufei's time, unrest was everywhere, with wars raging across the land. Resentment and fear had led demons to grow into powerful beings. Later, the newcomer emerged as a formidable figure. From his youth, he trained rigorously, eventually leading immortal warriors to storm the Demon Tower. Over time, Yufei Gravel discovered that the Demon Lord couldn't be killed by ordinary means. He embarked on a quest for artifact fragments to seal the Demon Tower. To save countless lives, sacrifices were inevitable. The road to victory was harsh. When the warrior regained consciousness, all his allies had already perished. He recalls charging toward the demonic tower with 10 artifact fragments, then a thunderous sound in the sky, and suddenly, he found himself in this millennium. Sent by a deity to this era, he's here to complete a mission to save mortals. The task requires gathering 10 fragments to seal the tower once more. The family leader is convinced he has two goals: secure the fourth fragment and reclaim the first two. The initial fragments were taken by the Hunters Association and are now kept by Captain Schuyler, known for his integrity. Yufei argues that people are too unpredictable and cannot be deemed righteous. Only he can secure the artifact fragments, as human desires often drive extreme actions. The elder expresses disbelief at the notion of taking the artifact fragment from Captain Schuyler. He feels the hero's actions would invite ridicule. Yet, he reflects that the path to salvation can sometimes be merciless. The elder and his companion observe the scene, debating if the figure is truly their ancestor. Regardless of his identity, they believe reclaiming the artifact fragments will restore their family's greatness. The team walks away, disappointed at losing the third fragment to an unknown rival. Despite the setback, one of them lightens the mood, eager to get home quickly for some cookies. The group is suddenly ambushed by an unusual attack. Mia reacts in shock, wondering about this strange method of assault. They are caught off guard, immobilized by an unexpected force. The team struggles to move, feeling trapped and powerless against the attack. Schuyler ponders the sudden appearance of ancient techniques, wondering if they're truly from a cultivator who lived 1,000 years ago. The energy feels oddly familiar. A mysterious figure appears, holding Mia captive with an imposing presence. Her allies are shocked, demanding answers as they confront the unknown assailant. It dawns on Dark Overlord. This figure is Gravel Yufei, the ancient cultivator prophesied to defeat the Demon Lord in just 2 months. The revelation fills him with awe. Gravel Yufei commands Schuyler to hand over the artifact fragments, his tone leaving no room for negotiation. Leo recalls if this is the exact scene where Mia encounters the demon for the first time. The question lingers: what will she choose, the Demon Lord or... Meanwhile, Leo's thoughts center around the cosmic observers, speculating on the ancient cultivator. Excitement stirs among them, eager to watch the clash of a demon and a cultivator. The group observes the weapon with caution, realizing the blade contains a powerful artifact fragment. This ominous energy serves as a warning, advising them to keep their distance. Mia anxiously urges her captain not to focus on her, expressing that they worked too hard to obtain the artifact fragments. Surrendering them so easily would be unwise. In a dark tone, he reveals that he's hidden the fragments and implies that she isn't all that important. He coldly suggests she could be killed without consequence. With an approving gaze, the foe notes that strength doesn't need emotions. It seems they share a similar outlook, bound by the same cold resolve. Yufei Gravel gives an ultimatum, a day to consider. Return to the Gravel estate to negotiate or claim the girl's body. His presence vanishes ominously. Nolan urgently pleads to save Mia, questioning if they'll abandon her. Skylar hesitates, emphasizing the artifact fragment's importance and the possibility of a trap. The team reassures their captain, offering the influence of their families to devise a solution. He, unwavering, calmly states he'll go to the Gravel family tomorrow. The Demon King ponders Yufei's words, questioning what similarities he might see between them. With a skeptical look, he thinks, in what way? The team on the Dark Overlord, Leo decides to abandon the fragments. His focus shifts to finding a way to prevent war. The Dark Entity reflects on his future encounter with Yufei Gravel, who will inflict a serious wound on him in 2 months. He senses the newcomer isn't from this timeline. He addresses his other self from a different time, stating directly that he knows about plans to return to the magical tower to retrieve the fragments and save Mia, all while fully aware of Yufei Gravel's return. With a sly grin, the Dark Lord taunts his counterpart, hinting at their common hidden advantage. His words drip with confidence, as if holding a secret weapon in his grasp. His smirk deepens, his eyes glowing with malice. Saving someone? Hardly. His true intent is chillingly clear. He plans to kill Mia without hesitation. The Demon King realizes that she is the only one who knows Skylar's true identity and that she should have been eliminated long ago. Yufei made a mistake in trying to capture her. The upcoming exchange is merely a cover. His true plan? To eliminate everyone in the Gravel household without exception. If Mia, the senior hunter, perishes, it will spark infighting within the Gravel family, causing the association to tear itself apart. After all, he is the Demon King. What else would you expect? The demon recognizes that his other self acts independently, and Yufei will never anticipate his actions. He reminds himself to avoid conflict with Yufei, as his strength is immense. The Dark Lord warns his alternate self to stay alive. Their goal is to wait for his full recovery before delivering a decisive blow. The next day, Gravel awaits at the entrance alongside his ally, observing the arrival of Skylar with anticipation and resolve. Dark Overlord stands confidently, declaring his intent to buy her freedom. Mia, bruised and bloodied, clings to the bars, her face filled with relief and hope. She whispers that she always knew the captain would come to save her. As the frightened prisoner crouches in fear behind the bars, a muscular figure raises a whip, poised to strike. Blood stains the cage, marking her harsh treatment and imminent danger. Yufei's expression remains cold as he observes her relentless protests. His patience runs thin. The captor complains bitterly about the difficulties of dealing with a relentless association hunter like his captive. He mutters his frustration, exhausted from trying to subdue her. Skylar realizes she hasn't revealed his true identity, staying loyal despite the beatings. A determined resolve forms within him. He'll save her. Observing his decision, Yufei scoffs, calling him weak for trading artifact fragments for a girl, dismissing the act as trash. Mia, wounded and trembling, reassures Skylar that she told them nothing, not wanting to endanger him. He understands, holding her close as she cries in relief. Demon King clutches his head in confusion, feeling a sudden sharp pain as if something is trying to break through his memories. Strange. Why does my head hurt? With 3 artifact fragments now in his possession, Yufei gazes at them, a faint glow reflecting in his eyes. Time to seek out the 4th one, he thinks, his determination unyielding. A clenched fist brimming with intensity poised for action. The battle has started. Shocked expressions reveal their disbelief as they react to the audacious act against their revered ancestor. A tense standoff unfolds as one onlooker questions the attacker's reckless actions. With a cold smirk, he points to the scene, hinting they should already know. His single-minded intent is clear. He's erasing his opponent from existence. A voice resonates in the darkness, calling out Mia with urgency. Slowly, a young face emerges, filled with hope and relief. She is cradled in her ally's arms, bloodied but alive. He reassures her that, except for the missing rookie, everyone came to rescue her. They prepared an ambush, waiting for the captain's signal. Enraged, the elder furious at Skylar for disrespecting their revered ancestor. He warns that the powerful Gravel family, over 10,000 strong, will not tolerate this offense. Demon King smirks, unimpressed by the Gravel elder's mention of 10,000 strong, To him, it's simply too weak to pose any real threat. The Gravel elder reels from the attack, his men calling out in panic. The Arden and Kerrigan families have launched an assault, taking advantage of the chaos. A terrified member of the Gravel family shouts in horror as flames burst into the scene. He points frantically, alerting others to the spreading fire. Lena is determined, noting that even the most skilled hunters stand no chance against advanced technology. Despite their abilities, the threat looms large. In a control room, a soldier prepares to launch a missile aimed at the Gravel family. His expression is tense, underscoring the seriousness of his command to attack. Bystanders look on as explosions erupt near the Gravel family's building. Rumors spread that the Arden and Kerrigan families have joined forces against Gravel. The aftermath of the assault leaves the Gravel family in ruins. Victorious, allies celebrate, laughing over how easily they managed the attack. Amid the ruins, Skylar ponders the absence of Yufei. He's certain this warrior wouldn't fall so easily. Something feels unfinished. He senses something stirring beneath the ground. His suspicion grows. Could it be that Yufei Gravel is not yet defeated? A powerful tremor rocks the ground as flames surge around them. The team anxiously calls out for their captain, fearing for his safety amid the chaos. The urgency escalates as orders are given to rescue the captain. They push forward, realizing that modern weapons are no match in this battle of elite hunters. In the midst of chaos, a fervent plea echoes. Skylar's hatred has been unleashed, and there's a desperate call to eradicate him before he causes more destruction. Dark Overlord faces a challenging situation. Gravel is proving to be the most formidable foe he's ever encountered. Forced to conceal his true identity, he can only use hunter skills, leaving much of his power unrevealed. Gravel taps into a power known as Endless Life, his figure radiating with green energy that signifies vitality and resilience. Yufei marvels at the technique he's witnessing, questioning if it's one of the lost elemental arts from millennia past. He acknowledges the skill of his opponent, admitting they've come close to defeating him. Gravel channels immense energy, his aura transforming into golden, unbreakable power. Bound by green energy vines, Skylar realizes that his hunter abilities aren't enough to overcome this relentless power. His team stares in shock, calling out to their captain as an ominous sound echoes. Concern and urgency fill their expressions, fearing for his safety. Skylar's health bar plunges as he struggles to keep fighting, exhaustion evident on his face. He realizes he can't keep going at this rate. Something has to change. Demon King hesitates, knowing that unleashing his full magical power here would risk countless lives. In this case, his only option is to return to the magic tower. Yufei acknowledges his opponent's strength but confidently asserts that no one can stand against him. His aura radiates an overwhelming power. A horrified onlooker exclaims, questioning what chaotic events are happening to the Gravel family. Fear and tension fill the air. A crowd watches in horror as a massive surge of water rises ominously. Panic spreads as the floodwaters surge through the city. A terrified woman screams, urging everyone to run as the water rises, threatening to consume everything. With a knowing smile, Yufei Gravel declares that the end of an era always demands sacrifices. Skylar's between forces of water and fire. New level of threat. Yufei is startled as an unseen force deflects his attack. He senses something familiar in this mysterious power, making him pause in uncertainty. Demon King briefly uses his magic to deflect an attack, his face shadowed by the strain. In the background, he contemplates the cost of revealing his power. The visitor from the past senses demonic energy, realizing Skylar has turned to forbidden techniques for power. Yufei observes with disdain, reflecting on how some, like his opponent, are willing to sacrifice their own life essence for power. He feels sorrow for such lost souls. Dark Overlord notes how Yufei's deadly formation intended to destroy him only harmed his own men. Skylar feels confident that Yufei remains unaware of his next move. The newcomer mocks his opponent, calling him ignorant and saying he was merely warming up. Now, he's ready to fight seriously, showing his full power. Yufei grasps an ancient purple-gold artifact, known for consuming an opponent's power entirely. He acknowledges Skylar as his first worthy adversary in centuries. The hero fiercely commands, "Get lost!" His eyes flash with a powerful, unwavering resolve, daring anyone to defy him. Gravel examines the enchanted gourd, baffled. This relic was supposed to drain power, but something's off. Did the artifact malfunction, or is there another twist? Yufei's revelation hits hard. This isn't Skylar after all. He's been deceived. But who is this imposter really, hiding behind that familiar face? Demon King's punch lands squarely. Looks like his opponent wasn't prepared for this hit. Skylar realizes he underestimated Yufei, who's already gathered 10 artifact pieces. To defeat such a powerful opponent, he may need to tap into demonic power. Dark Overlord decides he has to reveal his true identity. With the threat of being killed in the future, he knows he must act quickly and strike first. Yufei readies his most powerful weapon, embedded with fragments of an ancient artifact. They clash with fierce intensity, each unleashing their powers in a high-stakes showdown. Yufei's technique unexpectedly fails, leaving him startled. Meanwhile, Skylar feels a familiar sensation, similar to his first encounter with Feng. The Elder steps in, urging the fighters to cease. He reminds them their true mission is to fight demons, not each other. His command is clear: stop immediately. Leo breathes a sigh of relief, realizing he made it just in time. He managed to prevent the demon leader's death. Otherwise, the war would have erupted much sooner. Leo gets praised as a rookie who handled the challenge well. Mia smiles, confident Leo would come up with something, though Gravel would still be defeated. Skylar, ready to take down Gravel, taunts the Elder to cancel his technique, calling Gravel a cosplayer. Both will be lost, and the group will lose strong allies. He suggests they focus on something truly beneficial. For years, the association sought ways to counter the demons. Besides sealing the magic tower, they've decided on another step: to summon the protectors to aid in their battle. Skylar wonders aloud if the protectors really withdrew 1,000 years ago. His thoughts reveal surprise. Are they truly gone from this world? The Elder reveals that humans and demons have clashed since ancient times. With one more artifact fragment, they could finally open the protector's portal. Since they obtained the first fragment, the association has searched for the portal. Thanks to info from the rookie, they now know its location and the next steps. Yufei, acknowledging he's heard of the task, he's ready to move on with determination, setting out on the mission. He reminisces about his era, noting how Protoss held unmatched power, far surpassing demons and humans. If they return, demons stand no chance. The thought of convincing Protoss to ally with demons brings a mischievous smile to Skylar's face. He decides to join the mission himself. In his thoughts, Leo realizes the truth. The knowledge about Protoss in the ancient book is a fake, meant to trick humans and demons. Opening the portal will bring new masters, not allies. Reflecting silently, he realizes his actions will open the portal 5 years sooner. He fears humanity may survive, but only to become slaves in a conquered world. With a sly smile, Demon King acknowledges that the portal's location is now known thanks to Leo's intel. Yet, he wonders about his true motives behind this revelation. Yufei observes, intrigued. Skylar wields both incredible strength and demonic techniques, but his true identity remains a mystery. In the Hall of Elders, they stand beneath a colossal structure. The newcomer assures them that the portal is exactly where he indicated. One of the 7 elders chuckles, intrigued by the young man's return from the future. Impressed by his ability, he waits to see what he'll reveal. Leo contemplates. Let the Protoss descend and enslave humanity. But is this thought correct? Doubt slowly takes hold of him. The Elder of Absolute Order receives a notification. A new system has been detected in Leo's body, and it's currently under analysis. The Elder announces his intent to personally challenge the dungeon and finally adopt a new form to fulfill his purpose. Yufei attempts to activate an ancient technique once used to send secret messages. Leo suggests his companion should skip the ancient magic and just use a phone. He explains it's the modern way to keep in touch instantly. Yufei marvels at the phone, realizing it's a modern tool for communication. He admits he's growing fond of this era's inventions. 13 savors the taste of pure water, joking about its rarity in the future. He plans to appreciate every sip since it might become a luxury someday. Leo marvels at the sky and fresh air, while the other warrior, curious about the phone's features, this strange human drink is nothing like he expected. The dungeon challenge at SSS rank will be broadcast live for all to witness. Viewers can cheer for their favorites as hunters face a deadly trial. Members of Skylar's team, including Nolan, will be hosting the broadcast. They'll guide viewers through each participant's progress in real time. According to research, the SSS rank dungeon is located in an ancient city, the place where Protoss and artifacts were first discovered. 1,000 years ago, true heroes lived here. Now, everything has changed. Nobles began oppressing ordinary citizens living in these lands, causing the economy and living standards to fall sharply. Many dead souls were created, allowing monopolization to continue. As a result, the city fell, people perished, and the land retained only negative energy. Over the past decade, anyone daring to step onto this soil met their demise. According to the latest information, the SSS rank dungeon and the Protoss portal are located beneath that territory. Our broadcast has over 1 billion viewers. Now let's watch the brave souls who dared to take on this dangerous mission. All hunters have gathered at the entrance of the underground city gates. Given that this is an SSS rank dungeon, it's not going to be an easy journey. That's why each member of the association has been implanted with a special chip. With these chips, every participant's location and condition are tracked live. Plus, viewers can chat in real time, strategize, and comment on their favorite players' moves. The participants are stepping into the dungeon. The mission for the 300 hunters has officially begun. Bad news. All hunters were teleported randomly across the dungeon, splitting them up. They'll need to regroup and survive this tough challenge. A hunter appears in a dark alley, disoriented from the random teleport. Cautiously, he scans his eerie surroundings, sensing danger in every shadow. It's Lun, the hunter. As he steps into the daunting SSS-ranked dungeon, comments from viewers buzz with excitement and nervous anticipation. TV shows. Duke's profile looms with an ominous red aura, hinting at his dark past as a warrior executed in life. Viewers are torn between fear and awe of this fearsome figure. A fierce battle erupts as Duke declares, "I'll take your life." The terrified hunters realize that even a low-tier creature here is deadly. It seems a curse has bound these creatures, stripping them of a peaceful life. This SSS-ranked dungeon truly surpasses expectations, testing the bravery. A new contender is about to take the stage. With a piercing gaze and an unsettling smile, she has a question that could change everything. The haunting figure of the evil princess appears, asking the question, "Do you love me?" Her tragic past looms over, and the hunters must answer from the heart. The princess's ghost demands proof of love. The hunter stumbles over his answer, trapped by her ominous gaze, while whispers urge him to act faster. The host reports grim stats. Within 3 minutes, 27 out of 300 hunters have fallen. The numbers keep rising, a sobering moment for the viewers. The city of evil spirits was once a kingdom's capital, but fell under a tyrant's curse. Now, spirits haunt it, and the dungeon boss likely knows the portal's location. They shared critical intel via each hunter's chip to boost their survival, but now, every remaining hunter faces relentless spirit attacks. Time to switch perspectives. The rookie hunter finds himself teleported somewhere unexpected. Confused but determined, he's ready for whatever awaits him. Let's see how he handles this surprise. An evil spirit appears, a nurse who's far from ordinary. Once kind, now twisted by trauma, she's haunting with an unsettling gaze. The rookie steps up confidently, promising help like it's no big deal. The rookie is unfazed, thinking it's way easier now than it would be 20 years later. Despite searching all the bodies, he still can't find the key that the nurse needed. Leo has a sudden realization, eyes wide with excitement, as he believes he's figured out the hidden location of the elusive key. A sinister grin appears as he announces that only one corpse remains, leaving his companion visibly horrified by his words. 13 insists it won't hurt, while the nurse frantically tries to escape, eyes wide with terror. Leo holds the key high, eyes blazing with triumph. He's confident that now he is a full-fledged candidate. Mia tries to defend the team's reputation, explaining they're peaceful and friendly. Meanwhile, Nolan looks away, clearly embarrassed. The evil spirit mocks the warrior, boasting of past victories over others like him, demanding his heart. Yufei casually flips through a manual for his gun, unfazed as his opponent stares in disbelief. A newcomer to this world, he's an enigma with unknown skills. Times have changed, his expression seems to declare, exuding an eerie calm. The evil spirit's face twists with a wicked grin. Ordinary weapons won't bring him down. He's beyond the reach of fire and steel. The creature recoils, overwhelmed by sudden, searing pain. Confused, it wonders how this mere mortal inflicted such a powerful wound. Yufei enhances his weapon with powerful magic, symbols glowing around it. His opponent is about to face both steel and sorcery in this fight. The warrior from Gravel family boasts that his bullets are soaked in potent elixirs, crafted over hours for maximum impact. He reminds his foe, times have changed. Mia and Nolan attempt to reassure the audience, humorously clarifying that their team isn't part of a cult or from a psych ward. They're just a friendly crew. The team introduces their leader, Skylar, calling him kind, just, and the best captain around. Fans cheer him on, praising his wisdom and strategy. The sinister figure leers at him, her attack always prefaced with, "I wanted to ask a question." She's ready to unsettle him with her chaotic presence. He aggressively grips her face, telling her not to be afraid. With a sinister smile, Skylar leans in close, declaring he'll ask just one question. His intensity sends chills, leaving the crowd, who watch the broadcast, uneasy about his motives. Eyes blazing with rage, the spirit consumed by fury. It vows vengeance, swearing that this pathetic human will pay for everything. Engulfed in flames, the spirit taunts its opponent, frustrated by his unending resilience. He sneers, boasting of making her question if she should just give up. Demon King demands she reveal everything she knows about the city. Desperate and panicked, she begs him to stop, promising to tell him everything he wants. The spirit reveals the city was once called the City of God, where a divine messenger appeared. Yet, due to her ancestors' tyranny, it's now plagued by endless wars. She explains how a hero once arrived, inspiring the citizens to rise. Yet, war and poverty consume the city, leaving corpses lingering since those dark days. Her story continues, recounting how the nameless hero eventually fell, leaving the city weak and desperate. Yet his spirit remains, awaiting the chance to rise again. Rumor has it that after the first king's death, his spirit became the city's boss, cursing it. The spirits remain his servants, bound like the unmoving red moon. Evil spirits began appearing in the city by chance, but over centuries they grew more numerous than humans. Now it's known as the City of Evil Spirits. Exhausted, he realizes the truth behind Skylar's question. Having given his answer, he wonders if he'll finally be let go. Yufei grips his sword with cold resolve, declaring that evil spirits aren't human. His stance is unyielding, no sympathy for those outside his kind. With a twist of the key, he unlocks the door, turning to the nurse with excitement. Together, they can finally escape. She's free at last. The nurse smiles eerily, questioning if he's really letting her go. She reminds him that she's not human, but an evil spirit. Leo speaks passionately about unity, reminding her they're all natives of this planet. His greatest wish? Peace across the world without needless bloodshed. He questions why she keeps following him after he's told her everything. With a bright smile, she insists she wants to go with them, much to his confusion. Another evil spirit admires Demon King's strength and character, expressing her wish to follow him and support his rise as the city's new leader. He simply replies, "Do what you want." Skylar's companion, the spirit, spots a menacing, evil presence approaching. She urgently calls for them to escape. The savage spirit looms over, demanding a piece of its prey, vowing to claim a life if denied. Fiercely determined, Skylar lunges forward, demanding his opponent's arm as a prize. Dark Overlord stands tall, weapon in hand, taunting his fallen foe. The defeated spirit recoils in fear. Skylar smirks darkly, demanding the location of the boss from his trembling foe. His unsettling smile leaves an impression, both intimidating and strangely captivating. The defeated spirit reveals that the evil spirit king resides in the royal palace, though it's nearly impossible to enter. The king's domain is off limits to all. Amidst blazing flames, Skylar appears mounted on a fierce steed, demanding directions to the royal palace. The spirited duo enthusiastically joins forces, ready to launch a combined assault. With a new ally by her side, she feels even more confident to defeat the king. The group learns crucial intel. The spirit of the dungeon's king resides in the palace. It's likely he's the one controlling everything within the dungeon's depths. The hosts of the broadcast recap the losses. 83 hunters remain, 79 were killed, and 138 were called back. Their top team, Flaming Dragons, is turned on another mission. The broadcast hosts switch the live feed from the Flaming Dragons to Skylar's team. Shocked, one of the hosts exclaims in disbelief at what they see. Viewers watch in awe as Demon King cuts down spirit after spirit, his relentless attacks leaving no room for escape. The screen captures his ruthless efficiency. Spirits bow before him as Skylar approaches, his intense presence exuding an aura of a true boss. The spectators feel both fear and admiration at his power. Dark Overlord stands amidst a growing army of evil spirits, his presence commanding and fierce. The fiery scene marks him as a leader, gathering power for the battle ahead. The spirit of the nurse gazes at the crimson sky, reminiscing about how long it's been since she last saw the outside world. A hint of nostalgia flickers in her eyes. Just moments after stepping outside, she finds herself caught in chaos. Confusion fills her as she wonders what's happening amidst the sudden barrage. Riding through blazing flames, Skylar appears ready to lead the great spirits in a challenge against the king. She muses that it doesn't really matter if he's human or spirit. All she hopes for is that he's their savior, the one who can bring them salvation. In the deepest part of the dungeon, spirits panic, screaming for help. The arrival of a terrifying, dangerous human has shaken them, spreading fear through their ranks. Leo stumbles upon files detailing prisoners within the dungeon. Learning about the failed rebellion, he wonders if the hero's spirit will remain trapped even in death. 1062. Deep within the Divine City's library, a monstrous figure lurks in the shadows, its ferocious snarl breaking the eerie silence of the vast, ominous space. According to legends, during the harsh rule of the first king, a blood-red moon cast an eerie vision over all cities. It was said a divine savior would appear to bring hope. Yufei ponders the mysterious blood-red moon. Is it a result of the first king's brutal rule, a portal to the nether realms, or perhaps something else entirely? suggesting they should have enjoyed the sunlight while they could. Now, they're doomed to rot in his cursed town. The call to join their new leader echoes through the crowd of hunters and spirits. Uniting under his lead is their only hope for survival in this cursed, chaotic battleground. After days of intense battles, the hunters finally locate the king, on the verge of victory. The crowd credits their success to their new idol's unwavering leadership. The broadcast reveals his bold move. He stopped the fighting between hunters and spirits, forging an alliance to bring down the king together. His team has now surpassed the Fire Dragon team in likes, taking the lead in the rankings. Fans cheer for their new favorite squad. Dark Overlord dismisses the idea of freeing souls or reincarnation in his thoughts. His focus is on defeating the dungeon boss and empowering demons for his own advantage. Skylar rallies his allies, raising his fist high, signaling the charge. The team, with weapons drawn, is ready to strike and take down the king once and for all. The king awaits in this ominous hall, shrouded in danger. No human has survived here in 1,000 years. Every hunter who dared to enter met their end. The king's force stops not only evil spirits, but even the living. It threatens to drain all energy from those who dare approach. The barrier is finally down, and Skylar's ready to step in. The fiery entrance blazes with energy, marking the path ahead. Epic moment awaits. The dungeon's boss is a kingly evil spirit of SSS rank. In life, he sinned. Now he rules as a dark force. He's wary of the intruder. The crowd charges the towering monster, who's clearly the king. The tension is high as everyone rallies for blood, hoping for victory in this final stand. Facing the towering monster, the fighters realize they're outmatched. Fear grips them, knowing that even a step closer could mean instant death. As they face the red haze, his allies ask what's on his mind. His chilling response reveals the truth. It's not a spirit, but a demon before them. He explains that the king's spirit didn't just haunt the city, but transformed into a true demon, driven by fear and negative emotions. Evil Spirit, shocked, questions if it's true. He's unfazed, stating that whether it's a demon or undead, it just needs to be destroyed. Without a boss, the dungeon will choose the strongest as the new ruler. Astonishment hits as they question, "What? With such ease?" Realizing the unexpected ease of the situation leaves them in disbelief. Admiration shines as Mia gushes, "Mr. Skylar is so awesome. The legendary SSS rank seems hardly any different from an ordinary rank of S." Another place in the city. Bound in heavy chains, the captive of the Divine City's dungeon stands like a fallen titan. His presence alone hints at immense power, now restrained. His fierce gaze radiates authority as he declares himself the king of the Divine City, demanding to know who dares approach his realm. Shock hits Leo as he realizes the figure before him is the king. Isn't this supposed to be the hero who resisted the tyranny of the Divine City's ruler? He doesn't understand. As the king of the Divine City, he once sent soldiers to fight invaders. Since his confinement, the people remain bound to his heart. On the nearby bookshelf, there's info on the prisoners of the fourth prison, including his life story. Word on the street says the Divine City holds godly loot. The king fought off invaders, but it led nowhere. Eventually, he was locked away in a dungeon where he met his end. Afterward, the invaders rewrote history, hiding the king's resistance, making it look like he chose to oppress the city. All the truth buried to control the people. The king was not only a great hero, but has been dead for ages. Every disaster since was brought by the invaders posing as him. They're the real culprits. The chained king calls out, urging the young hero to shatter the chains. He hints at a greater purpose, as his people's fate seems tied to his freedom. Leo's mind races. If the true king is here, then who is ruling the city? And why are the citizens' souls trapped, wandering without peace? A moment of doubt hits Skylar. An SSS rank spirit? But it's clear this figure doesn't belong at that level. Time to reveal his true identity. No more hiding. With a smirk, he admits he has nothing to give, embodying the cold detachment of a demon. Desire and human emotions, not in his eternal existence. A sudden headache strikes, an all-too-familiar pain since entering the human world. Feels like something's clawing its way out of his mind. Reflecting on his time playing with the undead, he's reminded of gratitude from hunters who knew he was a demon. But then, the real Feng, also when Mia almost lost her life, he felt a strange headache. Was this a sign or something deeper stirring within him? The pain intensifies, hitting him harder than ever. He's overwhelmed, desperate to understand why it's happening now. The demon's level is SSS. In life, he was sinful, but now he's the dark ruler of the city, growing stronger with every defeated foe. The demon is thrilled, feeding off intense emotions he's never felt before. This power surge might take him to a whole new level.